on that swivel right here. Okay? To warm up.
Okay, I'll shoot some warm up as well.
Okay. Yeah, we should. Yeah, it's kind of a neat thing. Okay, I get to warm up.
Turn around a bit. She requested me? Okay. She throwing it? That was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah. How are we? Good? She requested me? Okay. My bad on that one. How you doing? Good last night.
No.
I knew you were coming out. Yeah. How you been doing? Yeah, how do you like Kelowna? Good job yesterday, man. This year ain't really good. I know. I got to figure it out, though. That's why Fucked up our scoring. And he got mad when I said, you didn't fix the score. He's like, you mean to me? One of the guys, one of the head guys, next year? Is it not 9 days? This is the place to go. He's got that. Seriously, if you want to come here next year, I'm not going to cancel we do this year. But if you want to come here next year, here's steps. So I worked a bunch of times with Dad. My younger brother can't play with your dad being up at home. And I sent him a note yesterday and I said, we're facing a winter today, and he goes, no, it's yours. I was like, that's weird. Huh? Yeah, not bad. You good? Nice. I'm getting ready to go, guys. I sent him a note yesterday and I said, we're facing a winter today, and he goes, no, it's not going to be as good next week. Stoneman was here last year.
You're feeling a little bit sandy. You're dry.
Going somewhere next year.
How many times have I told you? You try to have a routine eye exam. You get headaches, dry eye, you're not seeing clearly. How can you possibly dry if you don't know what you see clearly? Is that why you feel like book your routine eye exam today? Make your own.
He didn't play that last night. I saw he started for a bit.
We were getting married.
I mean, it is Vandy. You gotta be pretty good.
My mom got sick and couldn't be with us for a good day. I was heartbroken.
What do you think?
Thankfully, we discovered Scoreless. They responded right away and connected us to high-speed internet. Our big day was incredible because you felt like mom was there.
Explore it. Connect to what matters.
I guess Quebec only goes to grade 11, right? And then he did whatever the CJEP was, which counted as junior college. That's weird for him. No, for the MLB, whoever NCAA, he's going in. Yeah. So he still has
Thanks, guys. Hey, welcome, everybody. Happy Canada Day, everyone. Great to see everybody wearing red here today. I guess I missed the memo. Sorry about that. Everybody else is warming up right for me, including our team, wearing a very popular red Canada Day team caps jerseys. So, see a number of people in the crowd who won them over time as well. It's great to see that in addition. Can you just give me a second? I want to thank Yates Street Tap House for sponsoring this entire weekend. Boys for Saturday series with the other Canadian team in our league here in town, the Kelowna Falcons. So it's been great to have Yates Street Tap House supporting this. There is an after-game event at Yates Street Tap House. Players, coaches, fans, they're all invited to go on down. It's a lot of fun to do it. We always enjoy this day where you get to celebrate Canada Day. Remember, most of our players, of course, have never passport in Canadian, so it's fun for them to get to learn about the history and the pride we have in our country. And I think it's great to see how many people here dressed up in red and showing their Canada pride today. Thank you very much for doing that. Being in the spirit of this Yates Street Tap House. Thank you. Tomorrow night, we're going to be in Duncan. We have a nominating game against the Ladies Smith Pirates Islands in Florida. Ladies Smith Pirates at Evans Field, which is on Sawfest Road. We're expecting about 1,200 people or so. Duncan Junior Baseball Association, the Cuban Baseball Professor, and Red Arrow throwing a big time behind it. And we really appreciate all those groups who've been a part of helping us to show West Coast baseball further up the island. We're very big on swing. What we do around the island, we played the 9 last week, and we're excited to be up in Duncan tomorrow. If you have tomorrow night off, it's a 6 p.m. start. $10 tickets to the game. You're very welcome, and it's a really interesting, neat atmosphere to be able to go there. Wednesday night, we have another nominating game here against Seattle City Baseball, which is a elite high school and college group led by West Swamp, and it's going to be exciting to have them here as well for that game. We've never seen them before, their first ever visit. Definitely worth checking out on Wednesday night at 6:35 start here in Western Stadium, Royal Athletic Park. And then, of course, next weekend looks like a very interesting series is shaping up. Us and the Bellingham Bells, the two teams at the top of the Northern Division standings. We're in first place right now, and we're going to hold on to that. And Bellingham is definitely not going to take that lightly. They're a very good team and a very good organization. So we're looking forward to that series next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Also Wednesday, my good Challenger Baseball will be played on the field before the game. Disable and challenge youth getting a chance to be out here playing baseball on our field. It's a wonderful moment for them to do that. It'll start right at 5:30 when the games open that day. We got a couple of things we want to do here. First and foremost, please indulge me for a second. It's my daughter's 16th birthday today. Rachel, come here. You guys help me sing happy birthday to her, please? Not at all. Not even a little bit. Here we go. Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rachel. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, everybody. She's going to be back in a second because on her birthday she's singing the anthem today. How's that? Right? That's pretty cool. Listen, something we've been very happy to do, I think this is like the 4th year or is it the 5th? Might be the 5th year, you can't count really. I want to welcome former citizenship judge, I guess, Jerry Pash, who's now retired from the position. We're very proud to be able to run our crowd through a citizenship discussion talk. And I'm going to turn this over to Judge Jerry Pash, a good friend of mine and somebody who's just so determined to make sure everybody understands exactly how special it is to be Canadian. Jerry, please.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, today we celebrate the 152nd anniversary of the great country, and a special place that we have in the entire world. We have the traditional territory of the Army people. They were here thousands of years before the Europeans came. Canada has been built by the lifetime traditions of the indigenous people, and those came later, all over the world. Together, we have a passionate country where freedom is without fear. We worship our kings, we stand for the flag, we will oppose what we believe in law, we choose those who should never be happy. We will choose whether you're a man or whether you're a woman. You have the right to think about hard work and family. Falcons Commanders and Prime Generations is protected. Canada's peace, order, and good government, the foundation of our right to life, liberty, and individual security, came at great cost. We have life for the choosing. When you were born in 1928, you never had to serve in the war. You had life for the choosing because of the sacrifice of tens of thousands of men and women who fought to establish the rights of freedom we hold so dear.
Put you up as a
What does
duo on
Canada ask of us? Canada only asks to do obey the law, but we contribute as able to make a difference in our community. Particularly important that we vote when the occasion arises. And to accept
Lori, play ball kids? She's them for a photo kind of our way.
Great honor to Canada. Now, Miss Canada, as in this country, we don't swear allegiance to a person who represents. We don't swear allegiance to a flag, or a piece of real estate, or a document. We swear allegiance to a person who represents all of us. Canada is personified by the sovereign, just as the Queen personifies Canada. Your Majesty, in the coronation oath, defines the candidates who govern according to Canadian law and custom, and as citizens that we believe our elected officials are not protecting our rights and freedoms, we can speak out. We can form groups. We can peacefully protest. And we have a vote. We can make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand, raise your right hand, and recite after me. I affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, Queen of Canada, her heirs and successors, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of Canada and fulfill my duties as a Canadian citizen. You just joined us. Today. Thank you very much. Happy birthday.
This is an extra meeting. One of our staffers, Andreas Marquez, a number of his family members just became Canadian citizens. Congratulations, Andreas, to you and your family. Fantastic stuff. Thank you for what you do for us with the HarbourCats. Now, a moment that I think a lot of you are aware of through Check News, online, a whole bunch of different ways this has been out there. Everybody, I want you to meet Tess Stratton. If you don't know who Tess is, hello, right over here. Our producer, she's just been a little bit around today, and Tess has badly wanted to try throwing out a first pitch in a game, and we were glad to let her do it. So, Tess, people, can you help us here? Can you get your cameras out and phone and get some video? We want you to tag Check News and tag the HarbourCats on this, because we think this is going to go farther than it's going to go viral, maybe not like that, not like 50 cents. What? Tell me about this. You're nervous as heck, aren't you?
I'm a little nervous. Just for the record, I'm a figure skater, not a baseball player. But I'm a baseball mom, so my boys told me, don't embarrass us.
She's literally going through lessons with her son's team, Beacon Hill, and they've been having a lot of fun getting ready for this. And she has requested that the local player, Jason Willow of our team, so here we go. Yes, are you ready for this?
Everyone, lower your expectations. I think we should be good. My goal is not to hit my cameraman, sorry, or Chris, or anyone else, or follow them. Those are my goals.
Lower expectations, but raise your phones, please. Raise your phones. It's Tess's first time ever on camera, right, Tess? Here we go.
Wow.
Here we go. Well done. Jason Willow from the HarbourCats, also Victoria Broderick here to Saskatchewan for her and sign the ball. That was great. Okay, Tess, quickly. Hold on. Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
Actually, no, it was very bad. It's hard to get one shot at it.
It is. You've got a lot of TV and a lot of support of us, so we really appreciate it. That's news, everybody. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Okay. You want to do that first?
Well, the umpires and the managers have their quick meeting before the plate. We have something very exciting we wanted to let you know. Some breaking news overnight about 3 a.m. Our time. A former player of ours, Ho Wong, he was known here as Bernie, played for us in 2017, was drafted in the 16th round of the Taiwanese Professional Baseball League draft. And is going to play for a team that name I can't even pronounce, and I'll try to pronounce later. But congratulations to Bernie, who's such a memorable part of our organization here. I know Susan's wearing Bernie's jersey up there. And congratulations, Bernie Ho Wong, drafted, another player to the HarbourCats drafted into professional baseball.
Yeah. We don't see the well, Johnny said we should need one. Because you're using that, you're not using 60, you're using...
Or a dog sled, and I don't know.
Yeah, and then he said if there's any issues, we should just hardwire it at the ledge.
We'll plug it in as well. So
I have a prime minister, not a president. I speak English
Let's do
and
what they
French.
set up, and if you're having any trouble with this signal, which you shouldn't, but just test if we, yeah, they said we should.
I believe in peacekeeping, not policing.
Calvin already has, I think, Canada Day bumpers. Unless maybe at the end of the show they might come back to you. Okay, that's hard when you're live. I'll talk to him about that.
It's over 20 years I've been there.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps. For the singing of the national anthem, is being brought to you by Herald Engineering Limited and Crew Islands Consulting Engineers for 25 years. And here to perform the national anthem today, birthday girl Rachel Swanson.
Happy Canada Day from Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park. The calendar has flipped to July, and today we play the series finale to wrap Canada Day weekend between the Victoria HarbourCats and the Kelowna Falcons. Hi everyone, and welcome to Victoria HarbourCats Baseball on Go Live Broadcasts. My name is Mike Edwards, along with producer Chris Jaycox in the broadcast truck. Well, for our Canadian audience, we hope you're having a great Canada Day holiday, and of course for our viewers down south, July 4th is also just around the corner. It's always a great time of year. Baseball season at all levels is in full swing, and in the West Coast League, the first half is winding down. Just 4 games left for the HarbourCats, and they remain 1 game up in the North Division on the Bellingham Bells. HarbourCats take the field in their all-red tops, and Aaron Celestino leads the HarbourCats out onto the mound. Celestino will get the ball. He is 1-1 with a 6.75 ERA. Last time out on June the 25th versus Wenatchee, he went 4 2/3 innings, allowing 3 earned runs on 9 hits. So Celestino gets the ball here this afternoon, trying to give the HarbourCats some good innings here on Canada Day. He stands at 6 feet, 200 pounds, from the University of the Incarnate Word, also a native of Houston, Texas. So the lineup that Celestino will face on the Kelowna side looks like this. It is led off by the DH Austin Butler. Richie Sade, the second baseman, bats second. Cole Cummings is at third base, batting third. The shortstop, Matt Volsky, is in the cleanup spot. Marcus Guerin, the first baseman, will bat fifth. James Shimashita in center field bats sixth. Brandon Hupe, the left fielder who went deep in yesterday's ball game, he bats seventh. Jake Fisher is doing the catching and batting eighth, and Braden Merritt in right field for the third time in 3 days is in the ninth spot and in right field batting number 9. And Nick Nygaard, the left-hander, is on the mound in the bottom of the first inning for the Falcons. Well, let's take a look at the game time weather here before first pitch. Beautiful Canada Day afternoon in Victoria, 21 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny skies, and just a little bit of wind blowing out to center field. Well, the HarbourCats coming into today's ball game looking to complete the sweep of the Falcons. They are also looking to complete their third home sweep in a row after taking all 3 games from the Bend Elks and Wenatchee Apple Sox in their past 2 home series. And with a victory tonight, the HarbourCats can improve to 17-7 on the season and extend both their home win streak to 9 games and their overall West Coast League win streak to 6 games. Falcons, though, are intent on spoiling the HarbourCats' Canada Day party and leaving with at least 1 win here in Victoria over their BC rivals in this 3-game series. So thanks for joining us here on this Monday afternoon. Canada Day holiday, north of the border. HarbourCats in red, Falcons in navy blue, and we are set to get underway with the first pitch from Celestino being fouled back by Austin Butler, who is the DH and in the leadoff spot here today for Kelowna. Well, Butler also is the DH in yesterday's game, went 1 for 5 with a run scored and a strikeout. There's a big swing and a miss, and it's quickly 0-2. With that 1 for 5, Butler saw his average drop down to 305 on the season. He does have a team-leading 8 RBIs. No balls, 2 strikes. There's a fastball at 88 from Celestino that misses up high to Butler, and it's 1-2. Well, again, Victoria going for the sweep. They won the opener of this series 5-2 on Saturday night, and last night on Canada Day Eve before the fireworks show afterwards, HarbourCats won 10-5 as that one is swung on and missed, and Butler becomes out number 1 here to start the ball game. So a good way to start for Aaron Celestino with the punch out of Butler. Celestino is a guy who throws a lot of strikes, really fills up that zone. Does not strike out a ton of hitters. He has 11 and 18 2/3 as this one is grounded softly back to him on the mound. Celestino makes the throw to first, and there's quickly 2 away. But he does, Celestino, throw a lot of strikes. He fills up that zone, and he does not walk a lot of guys. Just 2 walks allowed in 18 2/3 innings. And in college this past season at the University of the Incarnate Word, he had a very solid walk rate of under 7%. Issued just 12 free passes in 39 2/3 innings. That's something that the HarbourCats were really focused on with their recruiting on the pitching side, finding guys who could come and throw strikes. They're not going to mess around up there, and they're going to be able to command their pitches, and it's paid off for them to this point. Their pitching staff has been excellent, both starters and relievers, and the HarbourCats currently, coming into today, have issued the least amount of walks of any pitching staff in the West Coast League. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes here on Cole Cummings. That'll miss off the plate outside. It's now 1-2. Cummings has had a productive series for the Falcons. In yesterday's ball game, went 1 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. 1-2 pitch, grounded softly to second base. Scooped up by Parker Bramlett, and the short throw to first is in plenty of time to retire the side. Celestino gets a 1-2-3 top of the first, and we'll be back for the HarbourCats half of inning number 1 after this on Go Live Broadcasts.
Your Victoria HarbourCats. Today's stat is 11. From the 11 member of HarbourCats. Fans, the game program is your key to winning. Find one of the volunteers near the city concession. Find Jim or the main gate area. Purchase your program for only $2. Fill out the form. And the Flight Center ad on page 25 to be entered in the draw to win all sorts of awesome giveaways throughout the course of today's game, including a chance to win a $1,000 travel voucher courtesy of Flight Center. The program is your key to winning all games, all season long. You'll hear winners announced all game long. They've come to filling out that form on page 25 in this souvenir program. Sign down to the Dodds Furniture Room of the Game. Congratulations to Rick and Elizabeth who had their seats upgraded. Thank you to Dodds Furniture.
We got a little something going.
Taylor Marsh to the bus box, please. Taylor Marsh.
Similar body. Oh yeah, little skin. Way more.
Jim, he's not here yet. He's on his way. I'll find him when he gets here. Thank you, thank you.
We're back for the home half of inning number 1. HarbourCats and the Falcons playing the series finale here on Getaway Day. This Monday afternoon game on Canada Day between these two BC rivals. Nick Nygaard gets the ball for the Falcons here this afternoon, native of Vancouver, Washington, standing at 5'9", 175 pounds. Nygaard is 1-0 with a 2.64 ERA. He's allowed 14 hits and 6 walks with 16 strikeouts and 17 innings of work on the season. This is his first start. He has made 6 relief appearances as Parker Bramlett goes after the first pitch and lines it out to right field, but perfectly placed is Merritt to put that one away for out number 1. So again, Nygaard does make his first start of the season. We'll see how long he will go. He has thrown 5 innings in relief multiple times this season, but he's also had relief appearances of 1 and 2 innings. So see how long he goes in this game, if it'll be more of a bullpen game for the Falcons, or if Nygaard can maybe go deep into this contest. There is a strike on Jason Willow, who had a big day at the plate yesterday. The Victoria native went 2 for 4 with a home run and a triple, 3 runs driven in. And actually, Parker Bramlett had the exact same line as Willow, went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 3 RBIs. Bramlett retired to start this one here this afternoon, but he had that bases clearing double in yesterday's ball game. That made it from a 4-2 Falcons lead to a 5-4 HarbourCats lead, those 3 runs, and then Willow stepped up right after him, and on a couple pitches later, launched a ball over the left field fence. HarbourCats actually have the same first 4 hitters in their lineup this afternoon as what they had last night. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Nygaard to Willow. That'll dip down low. It's 2-2. So after Willow, it's Frankie Neiman, the first baseman. Griffin Paxton will bat in the cleanup spot at third. Nick Playa, the DH, bats fifth. Nate Pacoda in right field is sixth. Matt Clayton, the catcher, is seventh. Matt Turner gets a start in left field. He's batting eighth. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Harrison Spahn. There was a foul away by Willow. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quick chance for us to look at the umpiring crew for today's ball game. Darcy Rice is behind home plate calling balls and strikes. Mark Bodwell is at first, and Troy Carmont is at third. Count even on Willow, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Willow lines one out into left center field. This is going to get down. Willow is going to take a wide turn but head back to first with a long single, and the HarbourCats have their first hit of the ball game and their first base runner.
Thanks to Bag and Shoes.
So that'll bring up Frankie Neiman, who went 1 for 3 in yesterday's ball game with an RBI. So Neiman comes into today's game hitting at .493, 14 runs scored, 20 driven in for the native of Sanford, Florida, coming to the HarbourCats out of Tulane. There's a good breaking ball that gets over to Neiman for strike one. No balls and a strike, the count to begin this at bat. Well, here's the defense for Kelowna this afternoon. In behind Nick Nygaard, it is Hupe, Shimashita, and Merritt left to right in the outfield. Cummings at third and Volsky at short, as the throw will go over to first base to check on Willow, who's back in safely with a dive. At second base is Richie Sade. At first, Marcus Guerin and Jake Fisher doing the catching. No balls, 1 strike on Neiman. Nygaard delivers, runner goes for second. The throw down to the bag is in time. They got him. Willow is caught stealing, and that is out number 2. Well, the HarbourCats lead the West Coast League in stolen bases, and by a wide margin coming into today. But that time, Willow was caught trying to steal second. So his 1-out single is wiped off the board. There's now 2 away bases empty, and still a chance for Nygaard to retire the side in order here in the bottom of the first. Count even to Neiman, 1-1. That'll miss down low. It's 2 balls and a strike. Well, Neiman continuing to be red hot for the HarbourCats. He just will not slow down. Another RBI last night with a sac fly. Two and 1 pitch is swung on and bounced foul towards the Kelowna dugout. 2-2 now the count. Well, coming up in the inning break, we will show you the highlights from last night's ball game. HarbourCats, again, victorious 10-5 in front of a big crowd here on Canada Day Eve. They were treated to a good game. HarbourCats coming from behind in the late innings. That 5-run bottom of the 6th propelling them to a 10-5 victory. Count now full to Neiman, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's one thing that Neiman has had to contend with recently is that I think a lot of opposing pitchers are starting to catch on to the fact that whenever you throw it over the plate, Neiman's been hitting it all over the place. And so he has had to deal with a lot of pitchers working carefully to him. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. It's still 3-2. Neiman, though, has showed off good patience. He's not going to chase out of the zone. He does take his walks. He's going to take what the pitchers are giving him, and if they're going to walk him, and the HarbourCats are fortunate to have a lot of good hitters behind him in the order as well. So he is well insulated in that regard, as that one will miss in tight. Neiman does take a walk here with 2 outs. That keeps the inning going for Griffin Paxton. Paxton yesterday did drive in a run with a sac fly, but he took a rare went 0 for 3. That's something that he is not used to when he's started a ball game. That was just the 2nd game all year that he has played from the start and not recorded at least a hit. He had a long hit streak, double-digit game hit streak to start the season with the HarbourCats. And he continues to be a big threat at the plate in that cleanup spot for Victoria. Also plays a very good third base defensively in the infield. 0-1 pitch to Paxton is popped up foul over onto the Strathcona Hotel rooftop party deck behind third base. Quickly 0-2. Nygaard is ahead. Trying to get through a scoreless bottom of the first. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch coming up to Griffin Paxton. Started to go around at that pitch, but held back. No swing, and it's 1-2. Good discipline there from Paxton to recognize that one was going to run further and further away from him off the outside part of the plate. Neiman with a small lead off of first. 1-2 pitch is a wave and a miss, and Nygaard strikes out Paxton to end the first inning. We'll go to the top of the second. Here is a look at yesterday's highlights on Go Live Broadcasts.
Go home ball race, we think, out there at center field. Take a look out there. 3 black ball berry boats, red, white, and blue. Pick one and cheer for. Ready, set, go! Red takes an early lead. We've entered blue has forgotten.
And fair down the right field line. In to score is Butler. Right behind him is Sands. Now digging for 3, and up there to third base with a 2-run triple is Cole Cummings. And it's an early 2-0 lead for the Falcons. This one hit up the middle, past a diving Bramlett into center, and it's going to score another run as Cummings scores from third. An RBI single for Sam Perry. It's not going to swing it one out of the zone. The 3-2 pitch is sent in the air out to right field. Neiman just got underneath it. It's going to hang up there and right. Catch is made by Merritt. Tagging is Sherrick, and he will score on the sacrifice fly. So the HarbourCats on the board. It's now a 3-1 ball game. Sac fly and an RBI for Frankie Neiman. This one is blasted out to right field. It's down for extra bases. And this might clear the bases. Here comes Sherrick around third. He will score. It's a bases clearing double for Parker Bramlett. And the HarbourCats have the lead 5-4. Put them ahead 5-4. Now this ball is driven in the air to deep left field. Carback looking up, gone. Jason Willow with a 2-run shot. And just like that, with a couple of cracks of the bat. On to inning number 2 here on Canada Day at Wilson's Group Stadium. No score after 1 inning of play between the HarbourCats and the Falcons. Aaron Celestino goes back to work for his second inning after he sat down Kelowna in order in the first. First pitch from Celestino to Matt Volsky. The shortstop missed up high. 1 ball and no strikes. That was an 87-mile-per-hour fastball. This one popped up into foul ground. Will it stay in play? No, it will not. It goes back into the Victoria dugout. So it's now an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Middle third of the order for Kelowna in this inning. Volsky, Guerin, and Shimashita will hit. Here's a quick look at the defense for the HarbourCats positionally. In behind Celestino, Matt Turner in left field, Jason Willow in center, Nate Pacoda in right, Griffin Paxton at third base, Harrison Spahn at short, Parker Bramlett at second, and Frankie Neiman at first. Matt Clayton is behind the plate, and he frames that one nicely for home plate umpire Darcy Rice as it catches the zone for 1-2. Celestino ahead, as per usual, throwing a lot of strikes out there on the mound, and it's 1-2. That'll miss, down and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch for Celestino will just be his 15th of the ball game. Worked very quick, top of the first. That is strike 3 called. Second punch out for Celestino as he catches Volsky looking for out number 1. And an excellent start to today's ball game for Celestino, which is certainly what he would be looking for. He put forth an excellent start back on June the 5th against Wenatchee, picked up a quality start, allowed just 1 run on 4 hits with no walks and 5 strikeouts in 6 innings. In his last couple starts, he has been knocked around just a little bit. Allowed 4 runs in 5 innings on June the 12th, and 6 runs in 3 innings on June 18th, followed by 3 runs in 4 2/3 on June the 25th. So Celestino, we know he has the stuff, and we know that he has that ability to attack hitters, throw him a lot of strikes, and get a lot of outs in quick succession with some soft contact outs. There's another wave and a miss. This time, though, Celestino is missing a lot of bats here to begin today's ball game. That's his 3rd strikeout, and now the 2nd out of the inning. But of course, it's not just about throwing strikes, it's about throwing quality strikes and being able to locate his pitches where he wants them to, so that hitters cannot do damage against him. So that's what Celestino has been doing to this point in the game. There's another swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. This is James Shimashita, the center fielder, taking down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shimashita enters play at 222. Also has 5 RBIs and 6 runs scored on the season. Ball and a strike is a wave and a miss, and it's now 1-2. Well, again, Celestino not noted for the strikeout numbers, but he has been excellent, missing a lot of bats. Good combination of the fastball up in the high 80s and the off-speed stuff as well. Looks to be on his game here this afternoon. At least those are the early signs in the first couple innings for Aaron Celestino. Time called at home plate before the 1-2 pitch to Shimashita. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 out. Now it's going to be Celestino's turn to ask for time as he steps off the rubber. And he's now set. Here is the 1-2. That'll miss off the plate outside at 88. Not bad location with that fastball, trying to go for that outside part of the plate, or maybe get Shimashita to reach out there. Count is now even, 2-2. This one sent in the air out to right center field. Willow got a late break on it, but he's able to retreat a couple steps and make the catch to retire the side. Nice start to the ball game for Aaron Celestino through 2 perfect for the HarbourCats, and we go to the bottom of the 2nd on Go Live Broadcasts.
Canadian military. Today we're very pleased to have ladies team of Taylor and Mars. 7 years in the military for Canada. Canada today was celebrating the military day 100%. Please help me ride and help me to thank you for service to our country. Served around the world. Just got off in the Pacific area. Thank you very, very much for your service to our country. And I know you got to get back to your daughter and your future kids. Thank you very, very much.
I saw that. It's all good. Oh. Thanks, man. No shame being here.
No problem.
Hope she's okay.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Thank you, sir.
Hey everybody, Nico's got cookies here in section 10. Get excited for some cookies from the cookie guy.
Light, man. Good one.
Leading off your HarbourCats, from Cal Baptist, the designated hitter, number 23, Nick Playa.
Bottom of the second inning, Nick Playa will lead it off for the HarbourCats as they try to get on the board first here on Canada Day. No score after an inning and a half. Back to work goes Nick Nygaard, who was fairly good in the first inning as well for Kelowna. Looks like we might have a nice pitching matchup on hand here this afternoon. Both Celestino and Nygaard looking sharp out the gate. There was a breaking pitch that missed down low to Nick Playa. 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be Playa, Pacoda, and Clayton, the 3 who will hit for the HarbourCats in this inning. 5, 6, and 7 in the order.
You went without me.
Ball and a strike. Fastball outside at 83 that missed. It's 2-1.
Let me see what I can do.
This is smart.
Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Playa ahead in the count. He takes for 3-1. Well, Playa went 2 for 4 in yesterday's game with a run scored. Started 0 for 2 with a couple of punch-outs in his first 2 at-bats, but he rebounded nicely in his last 2 at-bats, picking up base hits. 3 balls, 1 strike. That is strike 2 on the outside corner. Playa looked like he was just about ready to walk down to first, but it's now a full count, 3-2. Overall on the season, Playa enters play at 276, 14 runs, and 10 runs driven in. Full count, 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Playa down swinging after he thought he might have been able to take ball 4. Instead, on the next pitch, he strikes out. And there's 1 away here to start the bottom of the second. Group Stadium. And as well, a reminder to send us your live tweets, and we will show some on the broadcast using the hashtag HarbourCats. Get your tweets in, and we will show some of them in between innings. If you're a Canadian watching here today, you're Canada Day. If you are watching from north of the border, or from south of the border, I should say, of course, we hope that you will have a good July the 4th holiday in a couple days' time. There's an 81 mile play at 321, 9 RBIs for him. Base is empty, 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. And that'll be a strike on the inside corner to Pacoda. A couple groans from the fans here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Thought that one might have missed. But it is 2-1.
We pay attention.
Thank God. Thank God. He needs to have it.
2-1 pitch. Pacoda goes down and fouls it away. Now 2-2. Well, let's look at the standings and tell you about what this situation is for the HarbourCats coming into this one today. This actually is the only game on the West Coast League schedule, so everyone else has a day off here on this Monday. A lot of series wrapped up yesterday. On Sunday, Pacoda pops this one up. We'll see if this one stays in play, and it's not going to be in play as it just hit off the screen and then the top of the railing and behind home plate. So 2-2 the count on Pacoda. So the HarbourCats kept pace with the Bellingham Bells yesterday, both of them winning. So Victoria comes in again a full game up on Bellingham. Now Victoria does have 2 games in hand, or check that, Bellingham has the 2 games in hand. Victoria's played 2 more games, and after today's ball game, the HarbourCats will have played 3 more games. 2-2 pitches swung on and foul tip back to the screen. Still 2-2 on Pacoda. So if the HarbourCats win today, they would go a game and a half up on Bellingham with 3 more games played, which means that at best, when Bellingham plays those 3 games that they have in hand early this week, if they win, but they cannot move above the HarbourCats, before the two teams will meet next weekend for that, what looks to be shaping up to be a massive series next weekend here in Victoria. Friday, Saturday, Sunday between the HarbourCats and the Bells. So this is a big game for Victoria because you don't want to come into that series a game back.
Attaboy!
That one fouled back by Pacoda. Still 2-2. Good battle brewing here between Nygaard and Pacoda at the plate for the HarbourCats. So the Bells will make up those 3 games. They go on the road to Yakima Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before the HarbourCats welcome them into Victoria on Friday. This one is a little pop-up back of second base. Richie Sade makes the catch, and there's 2 away. So again, it's an important game today for the HarbourCats because if they do not win, they will just be half a game up, which means if the Bells were to win all 3 against Yakima, and the Pippins, by the way, are not having the best of first halves. They're one of the teams in the North Division that's kind of buried in the first half standings. If the Bells were to win all 3 in Yakima, that would mean that they would be a full game up on the HarbourCats, which would put pressure on Victoria in that series. But what would be really interesting is if the HarbourCats and Bells come in tied with the same record, and then it would effectively be a 3-game best-of-3 series to win the first half North Division crown. This is a foul ball, but it's going to be caught just to the right of the foul line, and it's Merritt making the catch to retire Clayton to end the inning. On we go to the top of the third. HarbourCats and the Falcons still scoreless.
Ariana, the real star of this show. Ariana, do you think you can beat Harvey today? Yeah, she does. On your mark, get set, go. Yeah, I get $20 down on Molly Harvey's up there, man. Ariana can roll. Wow, Ariana, well done on a windy base race. Very well done. Harvey's base race. Sponsored by Wendy's. Tesseract Computers provides Wi-Fi at Wilson Group Stadium. You can stay connected while at the games. Find the Tesseract 2.0 network and use the case-sensitive password HarbourCats, all lowercase, HarbourCats, lowercase, to stay in touch. That's the Wi-Fi network brought to you by Tesseract 2.0, and the password is HarbourCats. Don't forget to keep an eye on our K batter today. The K batter is the 8th batter. The number 8 batter, number 19, the catcher Jake Fisher for the Kelowna Falcons. Brought to you by the King Steakhouse and Bar, and if the bid is the team's 8th batter, Jake Fisher strikes out 3 times. Someone is going to win a $500 gift certificate. It's already happened once this year, folks. Make sure you get your program form filled out and into the draw game. Leading off is the left fielder, number 18, Brandon Hooper.
We will go to the top of inning number 3, and Brandon Hupe, the left fielder, digs in to begin things for the Falcons in this 3rd inning. Both teams still looking for their first run of the game. There is a first pitch strike from Celestino at 87 to Hupe. No balls and 1 strike the count. In yesterday's game, Hupe went 1 for 4 with that solo home run. That ball left the yard in a hurry. It was a line drive shot over the left field fence. There's another strike by Celestino, 0-2, as he's pitching very confidently on the mound for the HarbourCats. 6 up and 6 down to start the ball game, yet to allow a base runner along with 3 strikeouts, and he's ahead here 0-2 on Hupe. Wave and a miss. No, it's a foul tip, excuse me. Just got a piece of it to stay alive, and it remains 0-2. Hupe leading off the third inning for Kelowna. Another 0-2 pitch. That'll miss up high with the fastball. Perhaps a purpose pitch that time from Celestino to throw a fastball up there, change the eye level a little bit. Count is now 1-2. Another fastball. This one misses though, well outside, and it's 2-2. Count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Celestino delivers. Breaking ball tried to come back to the inside corner, and it just missed in tight. So it's now 3-2. Celestino tried to tie up Hupe with that last pitch, but it did miss. Now the payoff pitch, 3-2. Strike 3 called. And that is 1 out to start the top of the third. 4th strikeout for Celestino.
The Baggins Bash, Lori Gowans. Congratulations, you won a free pair of Baggins Band shoes. Lori Gowans. Head to the info booth to claim that prize. The catcher is the KK batter. Number 19 catcher, Jake Fisher.
So that'll bring in the catcher, Jake Fisher, for his first at-bat. He pops up the first one, but this will get out of play onto the concourse for a foul ball. Fisher hitting down at 130, 4 runs scored and an RBI, the native of Edmonton, Alberta. This one stroked out into right center field, and it'll get down for a base hit. So a nice piece of hitting by Fisher. Now it's misplayed in right for a moment, and that's going to give him an extra 90 feet. He's up to second, as it was Nate Pecota who just muffed that one when he tried to glove it and lost track of it for a moment. So Fisher was paying attention out there and took second base. But that is just the first hit Celestino has given up in this game. So looking to work around the base runner now at second base with 1 out. And Braden Merritt will get a chance to hit here, the right fielder for Kelowna, as he takes down and away for 1 ball and no strikes. Merritt took an 0 for 3 in yesterday's ball game, also getting the start in right field and the number 9 spot. Trying to knock in Jake Fisher from second base for the game's first run. That will miss for 2 balls and no strikes. So the first time that the Falcons have a runner in scoring position, trying to get an early lead here on the HarbourCats. This one's driven in the air out to deep center field. Jason Willow going back. He's still back, and he reaches up to make the catch. Tagging from second is Fisher. He goes to third, but Willow was able to get back there and make that catch for 2 outs. So the first run of the game now 90 feet away at third, but any out will do for Celestino as the top of the order comes back up to the plate in the form of Austin Butler, the DH. Butler, a strikeout victim, his first time, looking to put something in play here with 2 outs and give Fisher a chance to score. Here's the 0-0 pitch to Butler. Good breaking ball, catches the zone. It's 0-1. So Celestino, again, has been excellent so far, looking to freeze that base runner at third base and get through 3 scoreless innings to start this ball game. Oh, and 1 pitch hit hard but foul as Butler turned on that one and pulled it foul over towards the third base coach's box. So no balls, 2 strikes. Celestino ahead. The pitch is strike 3 called. Butler frozen up there at the plate, and Celestino strands a runner at third. He's through 3 scoreless to begin Canada Day at Wilson's Group Stadium.
Who are back with us today. Where's Quinn Scoons? Where are you? Say hi, Quinn. Where are you? Welcome back to our park. And John Pollard, welcome back after 6.5 years of vacation. Glad to have you back. It's time for the Tim Hortons Coffee Cup Shuffle. Kira Haney, our coach's wife, is going to do it with us. Come on. Yeah, you don't have a choice. Everybody meet Kira right up here in the grandstand. You gotta look up at the board, you get a chance to win a prize. Here we go. Yeah. You gotta do it. There's a twist at the end too, by the way. Yeah, pick one. Oh, went into the middle. She's gonna need some help, everybody. I hope you're watching closely. The Tim Hortons Coffee Cup Shuffle. What are we saying? Kira says middle. Original. It is original. Congratulations. Now, you're from Texas, but you're Canadian for the summer. You need to give this away like a nice Canadian would to somebody here, and you need to say sorry while you do it. All right? There we go. Happy Canada Day, Kira. Glad to have you and your family here. And we're ready with the Booster Juice Frisbees. Everybody get loud. You're gonna have a chance to throw some Frisbees in the crowd. Section 9, Section 10. Nicholas tossing Frisbees. Leading out for the HarbourCats. Outfield number 37 from Colorado Mesa, Matt Turner.
We're back for the bottom of the third inning here on Go Live Broadcast. HarbourCats and the Falcons still scoreless on Canada Day, and Matt Turner will dig in for his first at bat, facing Nick Nygaard. Well, we're pleased to be joined in this bottom of the third inning by another player. We got to talk to Jack Hyde yesterday, and today it's going to be Nick Adams, an outfielder from Yavapai Junior College. And Nick, we appreciate you taking the time for us here in the third inning.
Yeah, thank you very, very much for having me.
Well, Nick, you are getting the day off today, but you might be required to pinch hit later, so we'll just keep you for the bottom of the third inning. First of all, I'll ask you, how are you liking it in Victoria so far this summer, and how have you settled into your summer home?
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. It's the first time that I've ever been to Canada, so it's been a new experience. I'm from Illinois, so it's very different. I haven't really been to the West Coast very often. And yeah, my dad came up for the summer, and we got a condo, and so it's been a really nice experience to spend the summer with my dad and to grow as a baseball player and a person.
Yeah, well, certainly a definitely unique experience coming from Illinois out to the West Coast and north of the border. So this is, I guess, because it's your first trip to Canada, it's also your first time celebrating Canada Day with all the other Canadians up here north of the border.
Yeah, it is.
How have you liked playing for the HarbourCats and being a part of what's become a very good ball club so far this summer?
Yeah, it's a super good team. It's got a really deep roster of great players and people, and I don't think I've been a part of a team that's been this good. And it's been a super fun ride so far, and I'm looking forward to hopefully making the postseason and going on from there.
Now, does that, as a player on a team with a lot of depth, a lot of very good players, does that kind of motivate everyone and kind of bring out some internal competition where you see a lot of guys swinging a hot bat? You yourself, you've had a good start to the season at the plate, but does that bring out some internal competition in that clubhouse?
Yeah, I mean, for me at least, it brings that competition. I think it's good, though. It's when everyone's pushing each other to be their best, it shows things in people that you don't always see if there's no competition. And so everyone's taking it well, and yeah, I think the competition pushes everyone to become better.
Now, you mentioned you're here in Victoria with your dad, Robert. He's also come up for the summer, and you're getting to spend some quality time with him. So what's that been like, being able to spend the summer in a new place, but also having your dad here with you to support you every step of the way?
Yeah, my dad's been a huge part of my life. My dad and I are very close, and he's been a huge part of my success in baseball and my growth as a person. So to spend with him has been something special.
Here's Harrison Spawn at the plate for the HarbourCats, the shortstop. His first at bat after Matt Turner, the starting left fielder, struck out a moment ago. 2 balls and no strikes to Spawn, and Nygaard delivers the pitch. That'll miss off the plate outside for 3-0. HarbourCats still looking to get their bats going here this afternoon. They had to wait a little while yesterday, but they did get that 5-run bottom of the 6th inning. You know, I had Jack Hyde up here yesterday, obviously a starting pitcher for the HarbourCats, and he talked about how great it is to know that despite what the score may be, no matter what the score is, no matter what the deficit is for the HarbourCats, they always feel like on the mound they're still in it with the bats the HarbourCats have at the plate, and it just seems like a matter of time until the HarbourCats get going in a game. They have not yet got going today. There's a swing and a miss by Spawn. It's now 3-2. But I suppose you've been working primarily with the outfielders and with hitting coach Curtis Pelletier. What are some of the things that you've been able to pick up from Curtis as the hitting coach, and also from the other coaches, Todd and maybe even Ian and Jason and Troy as well?
Yeah, they're first of all, they're fantastic coaches, and they definitely want to see you grow. And they've got advice that I've never heard before. And so, coming from Illinois, you don't see the high-level pitching that you see here or that you see in Arizona. And so they give you tips on how to maximize, for hitting, I guess is what I'm talking about, how to maximize the length of time in the zone so that you have a greater chance of hitting a mistake, and how to, I guess, maximize your ability to hit. So they talk with pitch recognition and tips for hitting, and basically more my approach is what they've talked to me about, which is, I think, helped a lot. That's what I wanted to work on when I came up here this summer, and they're helping me out with it a lot.
Well, this is Parker Bramlett up here with the bases empty and 2 away. Now, I'm sure you had it was a special moment for you earlier this week, or last week, I suppose now, against Wenatchee. You came up as a pinch hitter and hit a grand slam, and that happened to fall on the same day as your parents' anniversary. Is that right? And what was that moment like for you to be able to deliver, I'm sure, what was just about the best anniversary gift that your parents could have asked for?
Yeah, it was an exciting moment for me, especially because I've never hit a grand slam, and it was kind of a moment that I wasn't expecting to happen. But yeah, my mom's actually overseas right now, and so it was nice to have the video to show her. And then Mr. Swanson actually went and grabbed the ball and gave it to my dad, and he's going to ask me to sign it and give it to them as an anniversary gift, which is kind of funny, and it was perfect timing. It was a super cool experience for me and my parents too.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff, and I'm sure they'll love that baseball. Well, we've reached the top of the 4th inning. HarbourCats down in order here in the bottom of the 3rd. Nick Adams, thanks for taking the time to join us here for the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
All right, let's go to the 4th on Go Live broadcast. Still no score between the Falcons and the HarbourCats.
He's going to try and win a Mexican dinner for 10 by throwing the ball to the hole on the La Tortilla Mexicana restaurant sign. Devin, here you go. At least in the board, Devin. Oh, close one. Nice try. Thank you, Devin, for La Tortilla Mexicana, located on Quadra in behind Yates Market. leading off with Kelowna second baseman, number 4, Ricky Today.
On to the middle innings here at Wilson's Group Stadium. HarbourCats and the Falcons still in search of the game's first run, and Richie Sade goes after the first pitch, bounces it to first. Frankie Neiman flips underhand to the pitcher Celestino, covering the bag, and there is one away. So Celestino on one pitch, off to another good start to an inning. He's through 3 scoreless, and a good pitching matchup to this point on both sides. Nygaard for Kelowna and Celestino for Victoria. Was cool as well in the last half inning to get the chance to speak to Nick Adams from Yavapai Junior College. Was a very cool moment for him to be able to hit that grand slam on the day of his parents' anniversary. And cool that he'll be able to get that ball and sign it and give it to them. We're now in the top of the 4th inning, one away for Celestino in this inning, and it's for Kelowna, Cole Cummings, the third baseman, up at the plate. Cummings entering play here today at .341, 5 RBIs for him on the season. He is 15 for 44. 0 for 1 though in today's ball game. Hits this one hard back up the middle, and it gets through into center field for the second base hit of the game for Kelowna. So Cummings is now 1 for 2, and he continues his hot series at the plate. Next up, Matt Volsky, two-way player for Kelowna. He pitched in the ball game on Saturday, now getting a chance to hit from the outset and also play short for Kelowna. Volsky with a swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch. Breaking ball from Celestino got it by him for 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch is in there at the knees for strike 2. So Celestino continues to fill up that strike zone. He's thrown 43 pitches now on the ball game, 30 of them for strikes. And he's ahead here, 0-2. Little soft liner out to left field. This will get down for a base hit. Stopping at second base is Cummings. And now a pair of singles back-to-back for Kelowna. Although that one was not hit particularly hard, but it did the job, falling in left field. So the first real sign of trouble for Celestino in this ball game, as Cummings stands at second base and Volsky at first for the first baseman Marcus Guerin. There's a wave and a miss by Guerin on a fastball running to the outside half of the plate. 0-1 the count. Now the 0-1 pitch. And that is a swing, they say at first base. Mark Bodwell, the first base umpire, said that Guerin went around. It's 0-2. Well, Guerin entering today's ball game, 2 for 9, 222 average. He's a recent arrival for the Falcons. 0 for 1, struck out his first time. And the 0-2 pitch is punched down the right field line. This will get down in front of Nate Pacoda. Going to third, stopping there is the lead runner Cummings. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. And that's a couple of 2 strike base hits in a row that were not hit all that hard, but they did get the job done. And Celestino now finds himself in a bases loaded jam with 1 out. So also the 4th hit in the game for Kelowna, as Celestino tries to get it back under control here on the mound. Still a chance for him to get through this inning without any damage, despite the 3 base hits. He is a ground ball away from getting through this top of the 4th. Bases are loaded now for James Shimashita, and he takes strike one. Now, sometimes that will happen. Some hitters will just put a good swing on a ball and beat you with a good pitch. Not necessarily a mistake pitch, just one that the hitter comes up with a good swing. There is a strike on the outer half. It's 0-2, but I can tell you that if Celestino keeps getting himself ahead, he's going to have a good chance to set himself up for some success. Once again, it's a 0-2 count. Of course, it's much more difficult to put a good swing on the ball with 2 strikes on you. 1-2 pitch is a wave and a miss, and that's a big out number 2 for Celestino. Strikeout number 5. Make that strikeout number 6 by mistake. Celestino now with 6 in 3 2/3, and any out will do for him. With the bases full, 2 outs, and the hitter for the Falcons is Brandon Hupe, who, remember, did go deep in yesterday's game, so he does have that kind of power. And you have to be wary of that with the bases all full. There is a good breaking ball for strike 1. Celestino has seemed to find a little bit of a second life out there on the mound ever since those 3 base hits. He's come back throwing strong and trying to get Hupe here to escape the sitting without any damage. A 1 pitch is swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Well, 1 good pitch away for Aaron Celestino. He is once again ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Fans coming into the game before the 0-2. Wave and a miss. He got him. And Celestino with strikeout number 7 through 4 innings to escape the bases loaded jam. On to the bottom of the 4th we go. HarbourCats and the Falcons still tied 0-0 at Wilson's Group Stadium.
Fast Times Grand Prix. Destiny Mason and Caleb. They got a couple of tires, and they've got just trying to shoot water at the umpires. That's not nice already.
Hey, Aaron.
On your mark, get set and go. Already pay attention to the tire race, please. We're trying to soak the umpires. They're all wet already. Mason and Caleb racing around Arby. The tires are pretty big. And we have our winner. Thank you to Fast Times Grand Prix. Go-kart and archery tank located in Parksville. Great place to go in the summer. Fast Times Grand Prix. A reminder, the end of the roll 50-50 today is being looked after by Esquimalt Lions Baseball. Please support this great cause. Esquimalt Lions Baseball, the end of the roll 50-50. And if you ask us really nice, we'll get you a picture.
Lack of velocity, like you got it like I say something about he's playing that.
Leading off for the HarbourCats, number 22 from UC Santa Barbara, the center fielder Jason Willow.
On we go to the bottom of inning number 4. It's led off by Jason Willow for Victoria. 2, 3, and 4 in the HarbourCats order with Willow, Neiman, and Paxton. Aaron Celestino doing a nice job with a couple of punch outs to escape a bases loaded jam with 1 out. Second time he's stranded as well a runner at third base in this game to keep the Falcons off the scoreboard. So it remains scoreless here. 4 hits for Kelowna, just 1 for Victoria as Willow hits it hard to third. This will get through, and that'll be a base hit into left field for Jason Willow. And he is now 2 for 2, so he has both hits in the ball game for the HarbourCats. Nobody else in the HarbourCats lineup has a hit yet, but Frankie Neiman's coming up. He drew a walk his first time. And we'll see if Victoria now can get some momentum going at the plate and see if they can push across the game's first run. Well, again, it is a beautiful afternoon to be out at the park here in Victoria. Over 20 degrees Celsius, over 70 Fahrenheit, and not quite as big of a crowd as yesterday. Of course, the fireworks promotion also brought out a lot of fans for the Canada Day Eve game. But HarbourCats still have a good turnout here on Canada Day as you look around the seats. Nothing in one to Neiman, and before the pitch, it's thrown over to first as Willow is back in safely. Willow did try to steal second after reaching base with his base hit in the first inning, but was thrown out trying to steal second. Nothing in one on Frankie Neiman. And there's not going to be a pitch as Nygaard was taking a little too long that time to deliver home. I think he was just trying to vary his delivery to the plate to make it unpredictable for Willow over there at first to try to time him up. Nothing in one. Now a throw behind the runner to first. Willow just got his hand in. He's safe. But a close play and a pretty good snap throw as well by the catcher Fisher, trying to nag Willow drifting too far away from first base. So Willow did get back in there safely. It's a ball and a strike now on Neiman. After him, Griffin Paxton will hit. But first, here is the 1-1 to Neiman. It's swung on and fouled away, 1-2.
Thank you very much.
This foul ball is brought to you by Speedy Auto Service.
Well, Nygaard, not a hard thrower, down in the low 80s with the fastball, but he's been very effective to this point in the game. Held the HarbourCats to just the 2 hits and 1 walk, along with 4 strikeouts in now 3+ innings. 2-1 to Neiman is another foul back. Check that, it was 1-2, and it's still now 1-2.
Courtesy of the keg, $25 yesterday. Congratulations to Susan MacArthur, $25 winner in the keg. Gift certificate, go to the information booth, bring ID.
Neiman awaits a 2-2 pitch from Nick Nygaard. Willow going, and a swing and a foul by Neiman. A little bit of a half-hearted hack there. Felt he had to offer at that pitch with 2 strikes to protect the zone. And that means Willow is going to be forced to go back to first. It was a close play at second base when Willow was out, so he might feel that he has a good read on when Nygaard is delivering home, and that he can get a good jump and maybe this time steal a bag. This one is swung on and missed as it gets away from Neiman, but on the pitch getting away from Fisher, Willow does wind up at second. So it'll bring up Griffin Paxton, Jason Willow at second base. 1 out now in the bottom of the 4th inning. And a couple of cracks here for the HarbourCats to try to knock in the first run of the game, with Paxton and then Nick Playa due up after him. Paxton 0 for 1, a strikeout victim his first time up. Tough lefty-lefty matchup for him as well. Nygaard, the left-hander on the mound, as he missed off the plate outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Willow takes his lead off of second. Nygaard with the look back. Willow's now running for third. The throw goes to third. It's not in time. And Willow has a stolen base after all. He's now up to third as the first run of the game. And the HarbourCats now do not necessarily need a base hit. They can drive him in with a ground ball or a fly ball deep enough to the outfield. Paxton had a sac fly yesterday. Picked up the RBI. So he'll try to do, at the very least, that same again here in this at bat. It's 2-0. Swing and a miss, and it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. So good base running by Willow to advance to second on that drop third strike. And then a stolen base of third. 2-1 pitch is ripped into right field. This is a fair ball. As it goes towards the right field corner, Willow scores easily. Paxton cruises into second with an RBI double. And the HarbourCats hit the board first. Here in the bottom of inning number 4, it's 1-0. And Griffin Paxton comes through with a 1-out double. Now it's going to be Nick Playa to hit. And Victoria looking for more in this 4th inning.
The batter is the designated hitter, number 23, Nick Playa.
So Playa, who also struck out in his first at-bat, he took a pitch on 3-1 that he thought was ball 4, and it looked like it might have been running outside. Close one, but it was ruled a strike by home plate umpire Darcy Rice, and then on the very next pitch, Playa struck out swinging. So a frustrating end to that at-bat for him. Breaking ball missing up high at 72. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Paxton giving the fans at Wilson's Group Stadium who've come out here on Canada Day something to cheer about here now in the 4th inning. 1-0, the HarbourCats lead as they go for their 3rd consecutive home sweep. Another breaking ball. This one, though, misses down low. It's blocked well by Fisher. Now 2-0. There is now some activity going in the bullpen down the left field line for Kelowna. Right-hander is up and throwing. 1-0 pitch missing down low. Check swing, no swing, they say, as first base umpire Mark Bodwell declines the appeal. 3-0 now on Playa. Now, we did not know, with Nick Nygaard making his first start of the summer here in what is his 7th appearance overall. All 6 previously had come out of the bullpen. We did not know how long Nygaard might be able to go in this game. But he's into the 4th. He's pitched very well to this point. That's going to miss, though, to Nick Playa, and it's a 1-out walk that puts runners at first and second. So back to Nygaard. Again, we weren't quite sure about how long he would last, and perhaps some signs that he might be nearing the end of the line here. The bullpen again now up and working for the Falcons. Nygaard's going to receive a mound visit here from his catcher Fisher as well as the shortstop Volsky. Nate Pacoda will step in here for the HarbourCats to hit. He's 0 for 1. Runners at first and second with 1 out and a run home in this bottom of the 4th inning for the HarbourCats. So after that mound meeting, Nygaard is now set at the letters for the first pitch to Nate Pacoda. Pacoda goes after it and fouls it high away over the right side. No balls, 1 strike. One of the things the HarbourCats have done a lot of this season is typically when they get on you at the plate and score 1 run, they pile on a couple more and make it a big inning as Pacoda hits one to third. Nice diving stop, but it's dropped on the transfer, and Cummings doesn't have a play. That'll load him up, bases juiced for the HarbourCats with 1 out. Cummings did very well to kind of go to a knee, not a full headlong dive, but did stop that one and get it in his glove at third, but on the transfer did not get it out of his glove to his throwing hand cleanly, and that allowed Pacoda to reach base. I think it'll be a base hit, or is it going to be an error? We'll see how they rule it, but regardless, this is the end of the line for Nick Nygaard, and he will be removed. New pitcher coming in for the Falcons here in the bottom of the 4th.
Andy said you're both doing it together.
Purchased land to build a new public safety building using provincial gaming revenue from hosting Elements Casino Victoria. The new building has larger sleeping quarters, so volunteer firefighters can be on call, on site, and respond to emergencies even faster. The building isn't only home to the town's fire department, though. It also has space for public safety staff and a secondary emergency operations center, too. BCLC, we're community-minded, with your community in mind.
We were getting married in the most beautiful rural setting. My mom got sick and couldn't be with us for our big day. I was heartbroken. Thankfully, we discovered ExploreNet. They responded right away and connected us to high-speed internet. Our big day was incredible because it felt like Mom was there.
ExploreNet. Connect to what matters.
And we have some more cookies from the cookie guy. Where's Vila? Section 9, that's where she is. These cookies are highly addictive. Trust me. Make some noise, more noise. The cookie guy. If you haven't tried these cookies yet, folks, you need to. Now pitching for Kelowna. Number 25, Tucker Grote.
Bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Run home already in the frame for the HarbourCats, and Matt Clayton will hit against a new right-hander into the game for the Falcons. It is Tucker Grote, who makes his 2nd appearance of the summer. And here is the first pitch to Clayton, which is swung on and fouled back. No balls, 1 strike. Now Grote, I mentioned, made 1 other appearance back on June the 21st, went 4 scoreless innings in relief, allowing 4 hits, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. So he's been very good in that 1 appearance, but he's looking to do the same here and perhaps give the Falcons some innings. Clayton pops this one up to shallow center field. Long run for Shimashita. He reaches up to make the catch, and the throw home is a good one. That keeps Paxton at third base, and there's now 2 away. So Clayton is retired. Bases remain loaded, and the hitter for Victoria will be Matt Turner. So Paxton at third, Playa at second, Pacoda at first. 2 men gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and it'll take a hit here from Matt Turner for Victoria to get something more out of this bottom of the 4th. They do lead 1-0 on the Griffin-Paxton RBI double. There is a strike to Turner, catching the outside corner, 0-1. Well, Turner enters play here this afternoon, hitting at .250. Does have 1 home run and 4 RBIs on the season. A 1 pitch hit hard but foul past third base. It's 0-2. So that was a big out number 2 for Grote coming into the game, getting the shallow pop-up to center field. Did not allow a run to score. Now he's trying to get any out to get through this bottom of the 4th inning and keep it at just the 1-run HarbourCats lead. 0-2 to Turner, will miss. It's 1-2. Now in a fastball at 85 from Grote. Grout with the long look in to his catcher, Fisher. And now the 1-2 pitch. Turner swings and hits a pop-up into right field towards the foul line and into foul ground. Merritt makes the catch, and that will end the inning. HarbourCats do get a run on the Paxton RBI double, and it's 1-0 Victoria as we go to the 5th on Go Live Broadcasts. We've reached the 5th here at Wilson's Group Stadium, 1-0. The HarbourCats are in the lead, and Aaron Celestino, who has been very good through his first 4 innings, goes back to work for inning number 5. This is Jake Fisher, the catcher, beginning the Falcons half of inning number 5. There was a pitch that missed off the plate, and it's 2-0, the count from Celestino to Fisher. Celestino now pitching with the lead after that double by Griffin Paxton gave Victoria a 1-0 lead. There is a strike, and it's now 2-1. Well, interesting there, you saw after that pitch by Celestino that missed for 2-0, just kind of took a little walk off the mound. So that one misses in tight for 3-1. Just took a walk off the mound, took a deep breath, and then fired across another strike. Get him back in the count. It's now a 3-1 count, looking for another strike here to fill it to 3-2. This one ripped foul down the third base side. Now it is a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nothing on 4 hits for the Falcons. They got 3 hits in the last inning, the top of the 4th, but were left empty-handed after a couple of big strikeouts by Celestino. Got him out of that inning, and that is another one. Swung on and missed by Fisher. Strikeout number 8 for Celestino.
Right fielder number 2, Braden Merritt.
Well, as well, the HarbourCats now with a 1-0 lead. It is just a narrow lead, but Celestino can get 2 more outs here and get through the 5th. He would put himself in line for the win should the HarbourCats hold on to that lead. There's a fastball at 86 that misses downstairs below the knees to Braden Merritt, the right fielder. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Kelowna in this inning, so it was Fisher striking out, and now Merritt, the number 9 hitter. Then back to the top of the order for Austin Butler. That last pitch was tout foul by Merritt. Ball and a strike. Bases are empty with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Falcons again out hitting the HarbourCats 4-3, but trailing where it matters. 1-0. Both teams have committed 1 error. There's a strike that catches the outside half of the plate, right on that corner, and it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reaching out, tapping it foul in behind home plate. Merritt stays alive. We'll do it again on 1 and 2. Well, Victoria coming into today's game riding a 6-game win streak and a 9-game home winning streak. A couple of streaks they're looking to extend with a win here on Canada Day. And of course also the streak of sweeping home series. They've swept 2 straight, trying to make it 3 home sweeps in a row. 2-2 pitch, grounded foul towards the Victoria dugout. It remains 2-2 on Merritt. Now the HarbourCats tomorrow will head out on the road for a day trip, about an hour drive to Duncan, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. They'll go up there to play the Ladysmith Pilots in a non-league exhibition game for the fans in Duncan. A couple of those day trips up island on either side of this 3-game home series this weekend against the Falcons. They went up to Nanaimo last Thursday, or make that Friday actually. This one is slapped down the right field line, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Merritt took a wide turnaround first, and he's going to dive back into first base with a long single. So Merritt is aboard here with 1 out. And Austin Butler will step in here as the top of the Falcons order will now step up to the plate. But just looking ahead again at the HarbourCats' upcoming week, after the conclusion of today's ball game, they go to Duncan tomorrow for that non-league game. Then they come back home for Wednesday, another non-league game at home against Seattle City. They'll have Thursday off, and then opening up the pivotal 3-game homestand or home series against the Bellingham Bells, and what very well could be a best of 3 series for the first half North Division crown. Again, it would be very interesting if we came into that series with both teams having the same record, because that way whoever won 2 out of 3 would win the division without any tiebreakers coming into the equation. There's a big swing and a miss by Butler. It's 1-2. It's Merritt at first with 1 out here in the top of inning number 5. And the 1-2 pitch from Celestino to Butler is on the way. Swing and a miss. And that's another strikeout, number 9 for Celestino.
Wow, you're really taking the initiative. I like that. You put a little gold star right on your forehead. Nice job.
And again, Celestino is not a guy who strikes out a ton of batters, or is known for that anyway. In college this past season, he struck out 26 batters in 39 2/3, and on the West Coast League season entering this start, he had, I believe, 11 strikeouts in 18 2/3 innings. But he's had that fastball working and the off-speed stuff as well today. He's kept those hitters off balance. He's missed a lot of bats. And despite the fact he has scattered 5 hits in now 4 2/3, he has not walked anyone. Control, as usual, has been very good.
I really do.
And he's been giving these Falcons hitters a lot of fits at the plate.
Lori, it's the best entertainment.
That one is tapped foul from Richie Sade, 0-2. Merritt still over there at first base. 2 men gone here in the top of inning number 5. And Celestino sets at the belt. Here is the 0-2 delivery to Sade. That'll be a fastball outside that misses for 1-2. That one not all that close. Of course, Celestino does have a couple of pitches where he can play with here to throw them out of the zone to get Sade to try to swing and miss. But I think he would have wanted that last fastball to be a little closer to the zone. Here is now the 1-2. That'll miss down low for 2-2. Today 0 for 2 to this point in the ball game. Hitting again with Merritt at first base, 2 men gone, and a now 2-2 count. Runner goes, it's waved on and missed, and that is strikeout number 10 through 5 innings for Aaron Celestino, and the HarbourCats lead at 1-0 as we are halfway home at Wilson's Group Stadium.
Come on, everybody, stand Rachel's mom.
Thank you, Rachel's dad. Come on, everybody, up you get. It's a warm day. You need to get up and stretch a little bit. You know how it works. Hands on your head, hands on your tails. I'll flip it. Hopefully there's a winner left at the end. Heads. Keep your hands on your tails. You gotta sit down. Here's another one. Uh-oh, heads again. Steve, you're still up. All right, here we go. It is a tail. Your hands on your head. Sorry, gotta sit down. Oh, we still got lots going. Heads. Your hands on your tails. Have a seat. I'm using a lucky loonie, so hopefully it's lucky for somebody. Heads again.
Oh, so
wow.
close.
Some people are very lucky today. Oh, it's another head. It does honestly have a tail on this point. I see a few over there still. Tail. Sorry, people with your hands on your heads. You got to take a seat. I think we got a few left over there. Last time, it's a head. With your hands on your tail, have a seat. All right, I see a few over there. Thanks, everybody.
I thought the umpire said it.
That was the Virgin Radio. For the HarbourCats, the shortstop, number 6, Harrison Spawn.
HarbourCats back to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning, looking to add on to their 1-0 lead. Harrison Spawn will begin things in this inning for Victoria before they go back to the top of the order for Parker Bramlett. That will miss off the plate outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Tucker Grott back out onto the mound for his 2nd inning of relief. 1-0 pitch grounded foul over towards the third base coach's box for Jason Leone. Count is now 1-1. HarbourCats with the narrow 1-0 lead. It's been a very well pitched ball game on both sides. Celestino with the 10 strikeouts through 5 innings, and on the Kelowna side, Nick Nygaard gave them 3 1/3 very good innings. This one, though, is lined into left for a base hit to lead off the inning for Harrison Spawn. Before that hit, Grott as well had done a nice job with 2 outs. The last 2 outs of the 4th inning, not allowing a base runner, but he has now allowed 1 hit, and Parker Bramlett in the top of the HarbourCats order will step up to the plate.
Park.
There's a fastball that misses up high to Bramlett. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Bramlett 0 for 2 tonight. He has had a big series. Went 2 for 4 yesterday with 3 RBIs, following a good game 1 of the series as well, where he was 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. Spawn was running on that pitch, but Bramlett swung and just got a little piece of it, fouling it to the backstop. With that base hit for Spawn a moment ago, HarbourCats now up to 4 hits. They do lead 1-0 in the run column, but they trail 5-4 in the hit column. Kelowna has scattered those 4 hits, and Celestino's made some good pitches when he's needed to strand some base runners in scoring position. There's an off-speed pitch at 74 from Grott that misses off the plate. 2-1 now to Bramlett. Spahn running again. The throw down is in time. No, it's safe as it. I think Spahn just eluded the tag because the throw beat him to second base. But the tag was not applied by Sade. So he steals second. 3-1 now the count to Bramlett.
Hey, drive him in.
Spahn did not get a great jump trying to steal, but he was able to slide in and avoid that tag. Right-hander now as well, throwing in the bullpen for the HarbourCats. We'll see if Celestino comes back out for the 6th. Looks like he's still pitching well and looking strong out there, so he might get a chance to throw the 6th, or at least start the 6th inning. Count is full here, 3-2 on Parker Bramlett, and Grott looks back at second, now comes home with the pitch. Bramlett rolls one to second base. It's knocked down by Sade. The throw pulls the runner, or the first baseman off the bag, and Bramlett is safe. That's probably going to be an error one way or another. We'll see how they rule that.
Now batting for the HarbourCats from UC Santa
But Sade first knocked the ball down, then when he picked it up, he knew he had to hurry, and his throw was not a good one. He was in the dirt and dropped it first by Guerin, who could not pick it, and it is going to be an E4 on Richie Sade. So runners at the corners, nobody out. And Jason Willow will step in, who is already 2 for 2. First pitch popped up in behind home plate. This will get back out of play, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Well, something I always like to do is look at when a new team comes to Wilson's Group Stadium, look at the Major League alumni of each respective team. And Kelowna has a relatively short list, but a very impressive list of alumni who have gone on to play in the big leagues. 0-1 pitch to Willow is a strike. It's 0-2. That list includes, here on Canada Day, perhaps fitting, that I'm talking about James Paxton, the Big Maple, who threw a no-hitter last season in Toronto, which was a very cool moment for him, being Canadian. He's a native of the Vancouver area here in BC. Played his summer ball in the West Coast League down in Kelowna. That'll miss outside to Willow for 1-2. Another Blue Jays connection, Ryan Tepera, relief pitcher, played for the Falcons. And another name you'll probably know is Chris Davis, who is the 2013 and 2015 American League home run leader those 2 years. Now headed towards the twilight of his career in the big leagues, but Davis did have a very good prime, of course, for the Baltimore Orioles. There were also 8 former Falcons that were selected at the start of June in the 2019 MLB. Now the 2-2 pitch up high, it's full 3-2. Paxton, obviously the big name on that list currently in the big leagues. Guy who went from Seattle to the New York Yankees last offseason. He's gotten hit around a little bit this year with the Yankees, but we know what a good pitcher he is, as Willow will swing and send a foul tip to the backstop. That also, I think, got a good piece of the catcher, Jake Fisher, as he is on a knee, now back to his feet. But just back to Paxton and the fact that he was a former Falcon. Last year, he became the first pitcher to throw a no-hitter on Canadian soil, and it was fitting that he was a Canadian to do it at the Rogers Centre while pitching for the Mariners. Now, of course, again with the Yankees, and they'll be expecting a big second half from Paxton. The Yankees in the American League East pennant race.
Let's go. Be short.
Well, Fisher looks like he's okay, shaking that one off. It's now a full count, 3-2 to Willow. And this one is flown in the air to shallow center field. It's going to be a nice sliding catch there by Shimashita. Spahn thought that one might drop in, and so he was not tagging. He will stay at third. Well, that one almost fell into no man's land. Almost a miscommunication between the shortstop Volsky and Shimashita in center. But Shimashita did make a nice catch as he slid to a knee. And it was probably not deep enough to allow Spahn to score. So he is still over there at third base with now one out. Parker Bramlett over at first. And Frankie Neiman will step in here. Pitch in the dirt, good block there by the catcher Fisher to keep Spahn at third. Ball and no strikes on Neiman, who in this game is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. One ball and no strikes on Neiman. That one outside, 2-0. Dangerous spot here for Tucker Grodd and the Falcons with Neiman, a dangerous hitter at the plate. Bases, well, there are runners at the corners with one out. There's a wave and a miss. Ball gets away. Here comes Spahn for the plate, and he will score. Bramlett goes to second. It's a 2-0 ball game. Well, a good read by Spahn, because that one just kind of started to scoot away from Fisher. Did not get all that far away. But Spahn read it well and immediately rushed home to be able to score that second run. So it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Frankie Neiman. Bramlett up to second base with one out, and now a 2-0 HarbourCats lead in the fifth. 2-1 pitch is going to miss. Now it's 3-1. It was a 2-1 count. Make that a full count, 3-2 on Neiman. That'll miss to him, and it's going to be ball four. Second time Neiman has walked here in this ball game.
Go now, Pax.
From the University of Texas San Antonio, the third baseman, number 33, Griffin Paxton.
So two aboard for the HarbourCats here now with one out in the bottom of the fifth inning. Run home on the wild pitch as Spahn came in to score. Griffin Paxton, who doubled in a run his last time to the plate. Neiman at first base, Bramlett at second, one away in the bottom of the fifth. And Tucker Grott's 0-1 pitch is up and in. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Paxton lining a ball down the right field line, just kept it fair and scored Jason Willow in his last at bat. So he is 1 for 2, struck out his first time this afternoon. 1-1 pitch is down low in the dirt, and it's 2-1.
Okay, let's go. 2-1.
HarbourCats looking for more here in the bottom of the fifth inning. 2-1 pitch to Paxton is fouled away, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. They scored 1 run in the bottom of the fourth and 1 more here in the fifth, but there's still just 1 away. And Paxton at the plate. Nick Playa will be next. Grott looking in for the signs from Fisher. Happy with the pitch selection, and he sets at the letters for the 2-2. Big swing and a miss by Paxton, and that is strike 3. So he is down swinging for the second out, and it's going to be up to Nick Playa here to try to knock in Bramlett with a 2-out base hit.
Hitter, number 23, Nick Playa.
Come on, Nick.
So a big strikeout for Tucker Grodd, who is now through an inning and a third, allowed the 1 earned run on a hit and a walk. Playa with a check swing foul. So he tried to hold up on his swing, but the ball tipped off the barrel of the bat and hopped over the protective netting foul into the seats. Grott will reset himself on the rubber. Looking for one more out to keep the Falcons right in this game at 2-0. Playa bounces one to third, and stepping on the base there is Cummings for the force to retire the side. HarbourCats do pick up another run, and it's now a 2-0 lead as we go to the 6th here at Wilson's Group Stadium.
Who's got the glow kiss cam for us?
All right, watch the screen. Watch the screen, it may be you. Canada red, red means love. Oh, take a look, maybe that's you. Smoochie, uh-oh. Come on. Just a little peck on the cheek. Yeah, oh. Take a look at the screen, it might be you if you're sitting in section 10. Still no takers. Come on, folks. Canada Day, you're wearing red. Red means love. Still, we're having trouble. Come on, everyone. I got a $25 gift certificate from Glow Restaurant for the couple with the best smooch. Oh, you guys can't see it. Well, maybe I might have to make a draw for the Glow certificate. You could just kiss anyway. Ah, Karen and Mike, you did it. You are the winners.
And taking a look out there, the Canadian Tire cleanup crew. Thank you very much to Canadian Tire, working hard out there, getting the field ready back again for us mid-game. Thank you to Canadian Tire. Reminder, our merchandise booth today, anything with a Canadian player to a Maple Leaf one, and merchandise 10% off today. And any purchase of $60 or more, you get a free ticket to a future HarbourCats game. Now pitching. Now pitching for your Victoria HarbourCats, number 29, Dakota Hawkins.
New pitcher for the HarbourCats here in the top half of inning number 6. After 5 dominant innings for Aaron Celestino, it's Dakota Hawkins who will enter the ball game from Lower Columbia College, standing at 6 feet, 195 pounds. So it's going to be Hawkins here first out of the bullpen for Victoria as they try to keep Victoria in the lead at 2-0, and in line for the win is Celestino. After those 5 very good innings, there is a swinging strike 2. Cole Cummings is the hitter leading off the Falcons half of the 6th inning. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3, 4, 5 in the order for Kelowna: Cummings, Volsky, and Guerin, as this one's hit right to first base, flipped to Hawkins, and that is out number 1. Hawkins makes his 3rd appearance of the summer for Victoria, yet to allow a run in either of his first 2. Just the 2 hits with no walks in 2 scoreless innings. So here is as well the final line for Celestino, and it was an excellent day for him. 5 scoreless innings, allowed 5 hits and no walks with 10 strikeouts. So a big day for Celestino. He is again in line for the win if the HarbourCats can keep this 2-0 edge. And that'll be the task for the bullpen here the rest of the way. Hawkins will pitch the 6th. Then we'll see from there where Todd Haney goes. One ball, 1 strike on the shortstop, Matt Volsky. This one punched a soft liner to second, and it's going to be caught by Bramlett. Late swing there from Volsky, who was in on the hands and did not get good wood on it, which resulted in a lazy pop-up that Bramlett was able to track down. So 2 quick outs for Hawkins. Did a nice job locating that last fastball at 89 on the radar gun. And next up is Marcus Guerin. So Hawkins looking for a quick 1-2-3, top of the 6th inning here, and facing the heart of the Falcons order, no less. Cummings, Volsky, and Guerin. This one is chopped right to third. Paxton takes his time. The throw across in plenty of time at first. And it is a very quick 1-2-3, top of the 6th inning on just 8 pitches for Dakota Hawkins, and that retires the side.
Home series against Bellingham next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here at Wilson's Group Stadium in Aurora, and Park will be a very interesting series indeed. Website. Want to make sure you get your tickets in advance. You go to our box office. You can go online at HarbourCats.com, or you can call into the office this coming week as well. You're glad to get you set up for tickets for that series. Tomorrow night, the HarbourCats in Duncan play the Lady Smith Pilots in the non-league game, taking our show on the road a little bit. Encourage you all to take the trip out. $10 for tickets in the gate. Very interesting little park up there on Sawmills Road called Evans Park. Should be a lot of fun tomorrow night. See the HarbourCats on the road playing in Duncan. And then on Wednesday night, we have the Seattle City Baseball Club in town. Travel team, a new travel team of high school and college players. Goes around the Pacific Northwest a little bit, and they're going to make their first ever appearance at Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park for 6:35 game time. Tomorrow night's game time in Duncan is 6 p.m. He has a day off on Thursday, then before the Bellingham series starts Friday night through Saturday. And Sunday evening is Bark in the Park, we might add. Horses Friday on Friday with the Galaxy Motors. Leading off for the HarbourCats, number 3, the right fielder, Nate Pakoda.
On to the bottom of inning number 6 here at Wilson's Group Stadium. And Nate Pakoda steps in for Victoria. Takes a first pitch strike from Tucker Groton, who's back out there for his 3rd inning now of relief. He's through an inning and 2/3. Came in with 1 out. And this one is flown in the air to left center field. Looks like Shimashita taking charge of it out there in left center, and he makes the catch to retire Pakoda for out number 1.
A reminder of the zip line going on down there. Wild Play zip line presented by TELUS Wireline down the secondary grandstand. Take a chance to get on the zip line. Lots of fun. Now batting for the HarbourCats.
Matt Clayton will be next here for Victoria. After him, Matt Turner will step in. Clayton 0 for 2. Overall, Tucker Grote's done a nice job since he came in relief. Now 2 innings for him. Just the 1 run allowed on a hit and a walk. There is now a right-hander throwing in the Kelowna bullpen, so this might be the last inning here for Grodd. There's a fastball down at 81 that misses outside to Clayton. 2-0 the count. Bullpen quiet for the HarbourCats, so Dakota Hawkins may well get the top of the 7th inning as well. He just threw 8 pitches to get through the top of the 6th. Very efficient.
Good swing, attaboy.
Pitching today has been excellent on both sides, but especially so for Victoria. You look at Celestino and now Hawkins coming in, just an 8-pitch inning. 1-2-3 for Hawkins. That one nicked Matt Clayton as it came inside. And he will take his base at first with a hit by pitch.
From Colorado Mesa, the left fielder, number 37, Matt Turner.
So that will bring Matt Turner in for Victoria. He also is 0 for 2. Trying to get a hit on his line here in this at-bat as the HarbourCats lead 2-0. Hitting in the bottom of the 6th inning. Attempting to add on some more insurance runs to this 2-0 lead. There's a throw over to first base. Clayton dives back in safely before the at-bat begins with Matt Turner at the plate from Colorado Mesa. First pitch to Turner is swung on and fouled away. 0-1.
Foul ready now. Let's go. Be on time.
Well, the Falcons come into today's ball game at 6-13. They're just about out of it in the first half North Division race, but with the nature of the West Coast League, of course, they will have a chance in the second half when the records go back to square one at 0-0. They will have a chance if they can get hot in the second half to try to make the playoffs. It was an interesting season for them last year. They were just 2 games above 500 at 28-26, but they did make the playoffs last year. It was enough to qualify them with the second best overall record in the North Division after Bellingham won the North Division in both halves. So the second best overall record in both halves combined made the playoffs last year in the North, and that was Kelowna at 28-26. There's a wave and a miss by Turner, and he strikes out for out number 2. But it was a strange season in the North last year because there were a lot of teams hovering around the 500 mark really all year long. And in the end, it only took a team at 28-26 to be the second best record in the North Division, aside from Bellingham. And then, despite the fact that Bellingham won the division in both halves, the Falcons, what did they do? They went to Bellingham and eliminated them in the first round of the playoffs. They won that series in 3 games. This is going to end the inning as Clayton is tagged out by Richie Sadeh. And we will go to the top of the 7th. We'll complete that note on the Falcons 2018 season on the other side of the break. HarbourCats lead at 2-0.
Thank you, Commissionaires, for providing security for all Victoria HarbourCats games. Commissionaires, trusted every day, everywhere, safeguarding communities here as well at Wilson's Group Stadium. Time now to look down the third base line and the Good Life Fitness bubble balls. This contest back for another year. People kind of like this one. Our contestants today are
here, then he just kept going.
Here. Chris and Adam are our contestants on the Good Life Fitness bubble balls. They're going to go at each other and see who can get knocked down the piling at the other end. Are you guys ready? And go! Harvey, you're so mean. That's the Good Life Fitness bubble balls. Thank you to Chris and Adam for taking part in that today. We always have fun doing that.
Mustard stain.
On we go to inning number 7, and Dakota Hawkins goes back to work after a very quick 8-pitch inning in the top of the 6th. Retired the side in order, made quick work as well of the 3-4-5 hitters in the order for Kelowna. So it'll be the number 6 hitter, James Shimashita, that leads off this top of the 7th. He takes ball 1 from Hawkins. There's a wave and a miss, and it's now 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, I was talking in the last half inning about the 2018 season for Kelowna. It was an interesting year for them, so they bounced around the 500 mark all year, but finished at 28-26 and did, just by a game, make the playoffs. And then they took out the Bellingham Bells, who won the division in both halves. In the North, they took them out in 3 games and advanced to the West Coast League Championship Series. That was the second time in the Falcons' history that they've played in the West Coast League Championship Series. But unfortunately for them, that's where they met Corvallis, who swept the Falcons 2-0. Kelowna also reached the WCLCS in 2015, but unfortunately the Falcons are 0-for-2 in those appearances as Shimashita strikes out. Hawkins has his first strikeout as well, and quickly went away here in the top of the 7th. But still, despite the fact that they did lose in the finals, it has to be considered a great season and a great end of the season for Kelowna. This one is drilled in the arrow to deep left center field. Outfielders looking up, and it is gone. Brandon Hupe with a solo home run in back-to-back games. And it's now a 2-1 HarbourCats lead. The good news for the HarbourCats is that they still have the lead. Swinging a foul tip off the catcher's mask of Matt Clayton. Nothing in one the count. This is Jake Fisher now, the catcher. Break strike on Fisher. Hawkins working quickly out there on the mound. He was in a good rhythm, trying to get right back into the rhythm despite giving up the solo home run. And there's a strike. It's now 1-2. 88 on that last fastball from Hawkins. He's ahead now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Fisher awaits the pitch. That'll miss up high for 2-2. Now a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Breaking ball just up high. It's full 3-2. Full count here. It's rolled to third. Scooped up by Paxton. Throw across the diamond is in time. It's a good bounce back by Hawkins after surrendering the home run ball. And there's now 2 away. Looking for 1 more out to get through 2 successful innings of relief. So just to wrap the note I was talking about earlier about the Falcons, the fact that they made the West Coast League Championship Series last year. And it wasn't something that they really saw coming with that 28 and 26 regular season, but that's the nature of the West Coast League. You get hot at the end. Doesn't matter how good or how bad of a regular season you had, so long as you make the playoffs. It's a 3-game series in the division series and then a 3-game championship series. And so Kelowna made the most of that last year. This year, though, they are struggling a little bit at 6-13, but they will turn their record back over to 0-0 when the second half begins in about a week's time. Bases are empty with 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. 2-1, the HarbourCats lead the Falcons. This is Braden Merritt, the right fielder, who singled in his last at-bat. He is 1 for 2. Hawkins just misses off the plate for 3 balls and a strike. Good hitters count here for Merritt. 3-1. It is swung on and fouled back. It's now full 3-2. Well, that solo shot by Hupe was the 6th hit of the game for the Falcons. They've out-hit Victoria 6-4. But they trail 2-1, and the fans come alive here before the 3-2. This one's lined into right. It's going to hang up in right field for Nate Pacoda, who makes the catch to retire the side. So Hupe goes deep. It's a 2-1. HarbourCats lead. They're still in front as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch.
Made a point to do that. I'll give it to you. Stretch down a little bit. The BC Transit 7th inning stretch. Get up and sing along with Take Me Out to the Ball Game. What? Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jams. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's good for the HarbourCats. And they won't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. The winner of the Brady's Fish and Chips gift certificate is Keith Morley. Keith Morley, head down to the information booth. And Bruce Carter keeps shaking it like your mama made her right there, buddy.
Canada Dry t-shirts going to be thrown into the crowd by our prize team.
On we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1, the HarbourCats lead it with Harrison Spawn leading off the Victoria half of the 7th. New pitcher as well on for the Falcons from UC Riverside, native of Pomona, California. It is Zach Jacobs, who stands at 6'1", 155 pounds, and he will throw the first pitch out of the bullpen over for a strike to Harrison Spawn. It's 0-1. Well, we have another guest up in the booth here for the bottom of the 7th inning. Pleased to be joined by HarbourCats starting pitcher who started yesterday's game at the time.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Cade, again, you did start yesterday's game. You are here from the University of Hawaii, and you're a native of Abbotsford, BC. So on this Canada Day, we wanted to get a Canadian player up here in the booth, so we thank you for your time. First of all, I'll ask you, it was kind of an up-and-down start for you yesterday. Some soft contact base hits in the first that just found some holes. Probably pitches that you thought you executed pretty well, but just happened to find some holes, and that started off in the first inning not great for you, but you did bounce back in the second and third with some good innings there. So on the balance of it overall, how did you assess your start yesterday?
I think I was frustrated on the whole, not able to compete like I wanted to be able to, not able to extend a little deeper into the game. 4 1/3 is a pretty short start. Looking to give the team more than that out of a single start. But yeah, I mean, the soft base hits, they'll happen. There's nothing really you can do except for keep pitching and keep trusting your defense, because when you try and do it all yourself, it's a tough way to pitch, trying to strike everybody out, and it typically doesn't go well. So you just got to keep trusting your defense that they're going to get the next one, and that's what happened.
Harrison Spawn made the first out of this inning as this one's flown to right field, and it's put away by Merritt to retire Bramlett quickly 2 down. Well, aside from the outing, how is it being out there on the mound here in Victoria on Canada Day Eve? Big crowd on hand. It must have been a lot of fun, though, just to be out there.
Yes, for sure. It was a blast. The stadium was packed. I think there was almost 5,000 people. It was just full to the brim. It was a great atmosphere last night. Everyone was excited for the game and then for the fireworks afterwards. And it was a whole lot of fun to have a game like that, especially with a comeback win in the end.
Here's Jason Willow, who is 2 for 3. Quickly 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's been a bit of a lower scoring game here today. Bit of a different game than what we've seen recently from the HarbourCats. Well, again, you are a native of Abbotsford, across the pond in the greater Vancouver area, for people who don't know. So was it an easy decision for you to want to come and play close to home for your summer ball here in 2019?
Yes, for sure. Being close to home is just a great plus. You know, my family can come out on the weekends and watch me pitch for the first time in almost a year that they've been able to do that. And so that's great to actually have that opportunity to have them come see me pitch, which is always fun. And then, you know, here is just a great atmosphere. Like, they got great fans. It's a great program. It's been a lot of fun playing here so far. I really enjoyed it.
There's a big swing and a miss by Willow, and it's now a 3-2 count. Well, yeah, I'm sure it's hard for your parents to get out to Hawaii to watch you pitch down there, but it must be great to go to school in Hawaii. The weather, I'm sure, and the baseball program is very good at the University of Hawaii. A lot of successful HarbourCats have come from there as well. Mm-hmm. But take me through your experience in your first 2 years. You're coming off your sophomore season with the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, playing baseball at Hawaii has been awesome. Just the nature of playing sports in Hawaii, the fact that there's no professional sports, so the highest quality sports that people can go see is us. So we get pretty good crowds too, and it's a great atmosphere. It's kind of like here, you know, the best baseball in Victoria is the HarbourCats, so everyone comes to watch. It's the same at University of Hawaii. Everyone comes to see us play and the other sports as well. So it's great that way. It's been, you know, good competition in the Big West. We get to go to California a lot, which is a lot of fun.
HarbourCats with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Frankie Neiman up at the plate. Jason Willow took a walk. This one is bounced on the ground to second. Richie Sade will throw it to first, and that'll be all for the HarbourCats here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, of course, when I have a guest in the booth, it's the shortest half inning of the game, but we thank Cade Smith for your time, and we'll let you get back down there to the dugout to watch the rest of this one.
All right, thanks for having me.
Patrick and Caitlin, they got to spin 10 times around and do the whole thing and get embarrassed and fall down and all that sort of stuff. You guys ready down there? On the marks, get set, and spin for real. Let's go, faster. Patrick, you're doing really deep, buddy. Let's go. Caitlin's making you look bad, Patrick. Let's go. Patrick, pull your pants up. Let's go, please. Patrick's going out faster. Caitlin's going way faster than you, Patrick. Way faster. 10. Big up trouble.
Yeah, you got that. You got it.
Misdirection going on. Congratulations, Caitlin. Caitlin, you are not the loser today. That was great, you guys. Thank you very much. Next year's your chicken.
Congratulations. Nice work. Good try.
Jump time and a coupon for Flying Squirrel Indoor Trampoline Park located on Newfield Road in the Squiball. Flying Squirrel, the world's largest indoor trampoline park.
It was great. Great entertainment. Thanks a lot.
We go to inning number 8, and it's a narrow 2-1 lead here in the late innings of this game. It's still Dakota Hawkins on the mound as this one is popped up behind home plate and will get back out of play. No balls and a strike here on Austin Butler, the leadoff man for Kelowna. So they have the top third of their order due up. Good opportunity for them to try to tie this game or maybe take the lead as Butler hits it hard down the left field line. That's a fair ball. And it'll be extra bases for Butler to start out the top of the 8th inning. Throw comes into second, but Butler's in there standing up with that leadoff double. So the tying run is in scoring position now for the Falcons. And there's nobody out. Dakota Hawkins on the mound. He's worked through 2 pretty good innings in relief. Just really the one mistake Hawkins made that was hit over the fence by Brandon Hupe for the solo shot. That made it 2-1, but the HarbourCats are still in the lead. So Hawkins now, through 2+ innings, is going to be tasked with trying to work out of this jam and keep Victoria in the lead. There is a right-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. I believe it is the closer, Matt Amrine, who is up. The bunt is popped up by Richie Sade, but it gets back into the netting behind home plate. The screen for a foul ball. Infield in at the corners for the HarbourCats, expecting Sade to bunt again here. Try to get that tying run up to third base with less than 2 outs. 0-1 pitch. Bunt is put down, and this is going to do the job as Sade will be out at first, but going to third is Butler. So on the second attempt, Sade did a nice job to get that bunt down. And Cole Cummings will be the hitter in a clear strikeout situation here for Dakota Hawkins, trying to get to 2 outs in the inning and leave Butler over there at third. HarbourCats are also, they're going to put the shift on here for Cummings. Only infielder on the left side is Griffin Paxton, who is close to third, but there's a big hole between him and the shortstop Spawn, who is well to the right of second base. There is a first pitch strike over the outside corner for Hawkins, 0-1. So it's Spawn to the right of second base, Parker Bramlett, the second baseman, well to the right of second, and just on the edge of the infield grass. This one popped up behind home plate. It'll get out of play. And it is 0-2. So before it got to 2 strikes, I was going to say Cummings might have a chance to try to just kind of punch one up the middle, get it past the mound, and he has an RBI and a base hit with that big hole. But now with 2 strikes, he's just going to be swinging away. 0-2 pitch is another foul. It remains 0-2. There's a big at bat in this game. Cummings up, 1 out. Runner at third is Austin Butler in a 1-run game in the top of the 8th inning. This is a golden chance for Kelowna to tie this game up. Hawkins looking for the strikeout, and here is the 0-2. This ball popped up into foul ground, and it'll get out of play. So another one that was hit foul by Cummings. 0-2 still the count. Hawkins still well ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Looking for the punch out of Cummings to get to out number 2. No balls, 2 strikes. This one is lined into left field for a base hit, and that will tie the game as Cummings comes through. Butler scores. It's a 2-2 ball game here in the 8th. And after a little bit of a battle, he comes through with a two-strike base hit as well. 0-2 is the count. Hawkins did maybe have a couple of pitches there where he could have gone outside the zone and then tried to get a chase from Cummings, but Cummings with a nice piece of hitting, tying the game up at 2-2. Now this one gets a little bit away from Clayton, and Cummings advances to second here with 1 out. So now all of a sudden the go-ahead run is into scoring position. And the hitter is Matt Volsky, the shortstop for Kelowna. There's a fastball down low at 88 from Hawkins. It's 2-0. So a pair of runs in the last 2 innings for the Falcons to tie up this game at 2-2, as this one is hit to third, and that is a foul ball. HarbourCats with runs in the 4th and 5th to take a 2-0 lead, but the Falcons answering back with the solo homer by Hupe in the 7th, and now a single by Cummings, scoring Austin Butler in the 8th to even the score at 2-2. Now a 3-1 count as that last pitch, the 2-1 missed, down and outside. Off the plate outside, that is ball 4. And I think that might be it for Hawkins as Todd Haney is out of the dugout. And I think he is going to make the switch to the bullpen. So Hawkins gave the HarbourCats 2 very good innings in relief, but just kind of started to lose it here in the top of the 8th. 2 on with 1 out. Falcons threatening, and a new pitcher coming on for the HarbourCats.
Claim your prize at the 50-50 table by Molly's Fish and Chips. Mark Marcus Guerin, the batter.
Back here in the top of inning number 8, Marcus Guerin is the hitter. 2 on and 1 out. Falcons are threatening to take the lead after they tied the game up at 2-2 earlier in this top of the 8th inning. And a new pitcher for Victoria. It is Matt Amrine, the closer, who will come in a tied ball game, trying to keep it tied here in the late innings. 85 with the fastball missing down to Guerin, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Amrine standing at 6 feet, 178 pounds, from Upland, California, and coming to the HarbourCats from Cal Baptist. 1-0 pitch is flown in the air to straightaway center field. It's dropping quickly, but Jason Willow got a good jump on it, and he runs it down for out number 2. Well, Amrine on the season, 1-1 with a 1.03 ERA in 7 appearances. He has 4 saves for the HarbourCats. He's allowed just 2 hits and a walk in 8 2/3 innings with 9 strikeouts. He has been excellent in the late innings. A lot of high-pressure spots as well he's been put in. In his last appearance, HarbourCats won 13-12 in extra innings against Wenatchee. He did not get the win in that game, but he pitched and kept it tied in the 9th and then into the 10th inning. Pitched an inning and 2/3, perfect. Just the 1 strikeout for him over those inning and 2/3, but no base runners for Amrine. So he has been very good when counted upon this season. That one is swung on and missed. Quickly 0-2 on James Shimashita. Shimashita 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts on his line here this afternoon. And the fans get into it. Amrine trying to keep it tied here in the top of the inning number 8. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Shimashita. Tag applied by Clayton, and that is the inning. So Amrine comes in and extinguishes the fire, but the Falcons do tie the game at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Time for Sweet Caroline. We want to hear you. Want to make sure all the neighbors and all the people downtown getting ready for Canada Day can hear you. It's Sweet Caroline. Oh, come on. That was kind of weak. Come on, Teddy Balderson. Teddy, I can't hear you. Scott, I can't hear you either. Barb Saberja, you won a lot of things here this year. You need to be heard. How about you, Grandma Dynamite? You ready to be loud? Everybody, from the University of Texas, San Antonio, the third baseman, number 33, Griffin Paxton.
To the bottom half of inning number 8, and a new ball game at 2-2 with the Falcons tying up this game. Couple of runs in the last 2 innings, one in the top of the 7th, one in the top of the 8th, and it's a 2-2 game now. Anyone's game as we are in the late innings of Game 3 of this series this weekend on Canada Day here at Wilson's Group Stadium. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Griffin Paxton. Middle third of the HarbourCats order up at the plate in this 8th inning. Paxton, Playa, and then Pacoda. As Victoria now looks for some runs, or a run, to work into the lead. That's a strike on a pitch that was running towards the outside half of the plate, maybe off the plate, but ruled strike 2. And it's now 1-2 on Paxton. That one gets all the way to the backstop. It's now 2-2. Paxton in this game 1 for 3 with an RBI double. One ball and 2 strikes, and Paxton takes down low. It's 3-2. That was a 2-2 pitch, my mistake. It is a 3-2 count now on Paxton. That is strike 3 called. And Paxton down looking for out number 1. This is still Zach Jacobs, by the way, in the game after he worked through a quick bottom of the 7th inning. Just the 1 walk allowed, no hits, and a strikeout for him. Now through an inning and a third. So that brings Nick Playa up to the plate. Playa is 0 for 2. Does have a walk as well as a strikeout on his line, and he takes strike 1. Nothing in 1 to Playa. That is going to miss down low for 1 ball and 1 strike. Another wild one from Jacobs that gets all the way to the backstop. Not particularly close, but it's now a 2-1 count. Well, as mentioned, today on the West Coast League scoreboard, there's only 1 game, and it's this one right here in Victoria on Canada Day. So no out-of-town scoreboard for you today, but what we can do is tell you about the series that are starting up tomorrow. That'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the West Coast League. The big one that we're focused on is Bellingham traveling to Yakima Valley for 3 against the Pippins. 2-2 pitch to Playa is up high. It's 3-2. That'll start tomorrow with 6:35 the first pitch. Again, going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3 for the Bells and Pippins. Also tomorrow, starting up in the South Division, the Portland Pickles will visit Corvallis to take on the Knights. Foul back by Playa. Remains 3-2. Down in Bend, the Richfield Raptors will open up a 3-game series against the Bend Elks. As well in the South Division, Cowlitz and Walla Walla will play the first game of their series tomorrow. Nick Playa with another foul. It remains 3-2. He's trying to work his way aboard any way he can to get the go-ahead run on the bases for Victoria. Then the last game tomorrow, Kelowna, after this one here this afternoon, will head out over the 49th parallel down to Wenatchee for 3 against the Apple Sox. That one, though, starts at 7:05. And Playa draws a walk here with 1 out. So he is aboard. Good at bat for Playa. Lengthy one, a lot of fouls, but he found a pitch where he could take for ball 4. And so with his speed as well, not afraid to steal a base. Might see him be put in motion here to get in scoring position. Nate Pacoda will be the hitter. And Pacoda, you would say, is due for a hit. He's 0 for 3. Jacobs is going to step off the rubber and look Playa back to first. So the Falcons have doubled up the HarbourCats in the hit column 8-4. They also committed 2 errors, the HarbourCats with 1 error on the day. That one missing up high to Pacoda for 1 ball, no strikes. But despite those 8 hits, Kelowna just has the 2 runs to show for it. HarbourCats have 2 on 4 hits. And the go-ahead run for Victoria is on base in the form of Nick Playa here with 1 out at first, and they're going to check on him again as he dives back in. Jacobs trying to keep it tied as we'll go to the bottom of the top of the 9th after this. Another throw over to Playa at first. Decent lead for Playa. Again, a good spot where we might see him run as Pacoda goes after one and fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacobs set for the 1-1 offering to Pacoda. Another throw, Playa back in. Right-hander up and throwing as well for the Falcons in their bullpen. But it looks like this is going to be Jacobs' inning to finish. If he can get the Falcons to the 9th with still a tie ball game. There goes Playa, and there's not going to be a throw. He steals second. He's up there in scoring position. And the catcher, Jake Fisher, could not transfer it from his catching mitt to his throwing hand cleanly and get off a throw to second base. But even so, Playa got a great jump. And I don't think they would have had a chance at getting him anyway. So Victoria now with a couple of chances to knock in Playa as the go-ahead run in scoring position. Pacoda here with 1 out and a 2-1 count. In the dirt, 3-1.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Clayton will be next for Victoria. The catcher waiting on deck. It's been a good at-bat for Pacoda. Patient up there with all the throwovers as well to first. It's now 3-1. Playa's running again. It's grounded foul to third, so he's going to have to go back to first base. Playa got another pretty good jump. Would have been interesting to see had Pacoda not swung at that pitch if Playa would have stolen third, but it's now a full count, 3-2. Kelowna not making too big of an effort to keep Playa close at second. Another good lead. He's running again. Pacoda drives the ball deep to left field. This ball is off the top of the wall. Playa scores. Pacoda into second with a go-ahead double. And it's 3-2, HarbourCats. Wow, Nate Pacoda just missed a home run by a couple of inches as it hit off the very top of the Wilsons Group Stadium sign and the elevated fence out there in straightaway left field. But Pacoda will take the RBI double as well. And it's going to be a pitching change now for Kelowna as Zach Jacobs is out. HarbourCats lead it 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th.
To embarrass the heck out of them, isn't it? Did a great job at the end, my girl. We have some news to announce to the West Coast League. It has just been put out by the West Coast League that the player of the week this week is Victoria HarbourCats infielder Parker Bramlett. Congratulations.
Sales going? Sales have been good. No, we're having a really good night. It's nice to finally have some warm weather. Teams playing really well, so it's nice to see everyone coming out to the ballpark and enjoying the atmosphere, and the merchandise this year seems to be quite popular with everyone. So really, it's win-win for everyone here.
Gotta love it. Another day at the park.
Another day at the ballpark. The more HarbourCat gear we see in the stands, the better. We get a lot of compliments from people. We get a lot of people that are coming to the store asking where such and such item is because they see someone wearing it. I love seeing it in the community. I'm starting to see it around more and more, and people are starting to share it on social media. We've got a new sale on right now that's been quite popular. Any items that are purchased $60 or more, we're offering a complimentary general admission ticket to a future game. That does include our fireworks games as well. We also just got in our team game hats. These are the two hats that the team is wearing on the field this year. Our website, www.harbourcats.com. You can click on the link for the cat shop. Any of the merchandise that we have at the ballpark is now on the store website as well. And we do have a U.S. link as well. We don't have as many items for sale with the U.S. link, but they're customers or fans from south of the border, any parents, if they're looking to pick up some HarbourCats merchandise and can't make it up to Victoria, they can definitely purchase through that avenue as well.
Sounds great.
Excellent.
Play ball.
Thanks so much. Play ball. Let's go HarbourCats.
We're still in the bottom of the 8th inning. HarbourCats trying to add now to a 3-2 lead. Nate Pacoda out there at second. Matt Clayton at the plate. There was a strike to Clayton on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. This is Christian Scott, the new right-hander on for the Falcons, trying to keep it at just the 1-run deficit here in the bottom of the 8th. Close one on a breaking ball at 77 that missed for 1 ball and 1 strike. Scott is a two-way player for the Falcons, both an infielder and a pitcher. On the mound this summer, this is his 3rd appearance. He is 1-0. He's yet to allow a run in those 2 appearances, and he's actually yet to allow a hit as well, just 2 walks in 2 1/3 innings of work. So he's been effective when he's been on. The small sample size, of course. Here's the throw to third, and in time for the out. Pacoda caught stealing, and that'll be out number 2.
The new pitcher from Kelowna, number 17 from Chico State, Christian Scott.
So the bases are empty for Matt Clayton now, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. HarbourCats do have the lead 3-2 after the Pacoda RBI double. 1-2. That is strike 3 called on the outside corner. Clayton goes down looking to end it, but Victoria takes the lead, and they need 3 more outs in the top of the 9th to finish off the sweep of the Falcons.
Victoria's friendliest public golf course, Highland Pacific. Highland Pacific Golf, sponsor of the 9th inning. All right, Steve and Joan Wallace, can you guys stand up, please? Can you please stand up? Steve and Joan Wallace, very front row. Can you see this? Joan, you are a saint. You've been married to Steve as of tomorrow for 46 years. Can you believe that, people? 46 years tomorrow. Steve, I don't know what you have, pictures, some sort of bad information. Congratulations, guys, and thank you for your support of the HarbourCats. You guys do great work through Wallace Driving School. And we thank you for your sponsorship of the Wallace Driving School radar gun. Everybody seems to enjoy that feature here at the ballpark very much.
I got the first 2 pitches of no fastball, and then I was like, you're gonna do that. You can't be. You gotta be. It was, well, he killed himself because he went, and then he like completely stopped and went again instead of just stop, pop, pop, go. More switch speed here. Be able to run on these guys. And then once I saw how fast he was, I was like, fuck that. I haven't watched that. I was like, working on that. I don't need it.
Left fielder number 18, Brandon.
On to the top of the 9th inning, and 3 more outs for Matt Amrine to try to get to finish off the sweep for the HarbourCats over the Falcons on Canada Day weekend. There is a first pitch strike at a 73-mile-per-hour breaking ball over to Brandon Hupe, leading off the inning. Remember, Hupe went deep back in the 7th in his last at-bat, so he does have that kind of power. He went deep yesterday as well. So in just a 1-run lead, certainly something where Matt Amrine, excuse me, on the mound will have to be weary of. There's a swing and a miss, and Hupe down swinging for out number 1. Well, it was just announced actually by the West Coast League here on this Monday afternoon that Parker Bramlett was the West Coast League Player of the Week for last week. So congratulations to Parker. He's out there at second base. And a very productive week for him in the HarbourCats lineup. Well deserved, certainly, for Bramlett. One ball and no strikes now after Hupe is retired. This is the catcher, Jake Fisher. Amrine is facing the bottom third of the Falcons order here on the top of the 9th. That'll miss just in tight, and it's 2-0. Amrine not pleased with that call. He thought that one did catch the inside part of the plate. Umpires in the stands also did not agree. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Well, Amrine, despite working with the lead here in the ninth, will not get a save, even if he does finish off this game. There is strike 2. It's now 2-2, because he came on with the game tied at 2 in the top of the 8th inning, and then the HarbourCats took the lead in the bottom half. So Amrine won't get a save, but he will, if he can get the final 2 outs here, he will get the win, which will be his second win, if he does get it, of the season. Just getting a little piece of it was Fisher to stay alive. It remains 2-2. Well, the HarbourCats were not tied for very long, because in the top of the 8th inning, the Falcons battled their way back to tie the game at 2. But in the bottom half of the inning, it was Nate Pacota's double that made it 3-2. This one is flown in the air, deep left center field. Has a chance. Willow looking up. It's gone. Jake Fisher ties the game back up at 3-3. And the Falcons just will not quit here in this series finale. They battled back again, and we're tied again. That one a little bit of a wall scraper in left center field, but they all count the same. And a big swing of the bat by Fisher. Second home run of the game for the Falcons. And Amrine will now try to keep it tied here, as a bunt is put down foul by Braden Merritt. Wind as well is blowing fairly strongly out to left field now, as you look at the flags down in the left field, over the fence in left field. So that may have just given that ball the boost it needed to creep over the wall. And credit the Falcons, they've scored a run in each of the last 3 innings, the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and it would have been easy for them just to, roll over and say, all right, this wasn't our series. HarbourCats took the first 2, but they haven't done that, and they know they're also very likely out of the first half North Division race as well, and they might be just kind of waiting for the second half to start. But at the same time, they're trying to get some good habits going, and they're trying to get their offense going as well, and they've been able to do that here in these last couple of innings. So 3 balls and a strike on Braden Merritt. And the pitch is grounded foul. It's now 3-2. It's been a seesaw kind of game, low scoring game, just at the 3-3 tie. That'll miss for ball 4. Amrine again not pleased with the call as he looks into home plate. And also hearing it from the HarbourCats dugout is Darcy Rice, the home plate umpire. So 1 on in, 1 out for Kelowna as they now look to take the lead. Austin Butler, who doubled in his last at bat and then came around to score on the single by Cole Cummings to tie the game at 2. So Butler comes back in here, and Amrine needs to be careful that he does not get flustered by the umpiring at home plate and keeps throwing well out there on the mound. There is a strike. It's 0-1. So Butler 1 for 4 with that run scored. Before that double, he did strike out in each of his first 3 plate appearances. That one misses for 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good.
Well, and the HarbourCats took the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. They thought they would just need 3 more outs from Matt Amrine to finish off the sweep, but it's not going to be so easy here today on this Canada Day. Big breaking ball came in tight and missed for 3-1. Butler had to just kind of duck as well out of the way of it. With that home run by Fisher as well, the 9th hit in the game for the Falcons. 2 balls, 1 strike, but coming on and making the catch is Pacoda. The throw to first is not going to be in time to double off the runner, but there is now 2 away here in the top of the 9th. Well, the HarbourCats with a good crowd on hand, just over 2,000, 2,073 here on this Canada Day. And by the looks of it, just about everyone is stuck around here for the late innings of what's become a good, tight ball game. And Matt Amrine trying to get that final out here in the top of the ninth to see if the HarbourCats can walk things off in the bottom half. Pinch hitter now for Kelowna. It'll be Tyler Grissom, who started each of the first 2 games of this series at second base. And he took ball 1. A ball and no strikes here on Grissom. That'll miss for 2-0. So Grissom pinch hitting for the starting second baseman Richie Sade. Yesterday he took an 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts in the ball game. So I'm sure he was itching to get back up to the plate. There's a strike. It's now 2-1. It's the one thing about when you have a day like that where you strike out a couple times, you take an 0 for. One thing you really want to do is get right back in the lineup and make amends the next day. There's a strike. Good breaking ball from Matt Amrine, and it's 2-2. Amrine needs one more good pitch to keep this game tied and go to the bottom of the ninth for the HarbourCats. Fans come alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Grissom. Runner goes. It's tapped foul. Count is still even, 2-2. And Grissom awaits the pitch. Another one tapped foul, just getting a little tiny piece of it to stay alive. There is now a right-hander throwing in the Victoria bullpen. Amrine now, if he can get this last out in this top of the ninth inning, he will be through an inning and 2/3, so we will not expect him back out for the 10th if it gets that far. Still 2-2. Runner goes once again. It misses. The throw down from Clayton, and it's not in time. It skipped just in front of the bag, and Bramlett could not apply the tag. But I think Merritt might have stolen second base anyway, even had it been picked cleanly out of the dirt by Parker Bramlett. So the go-ahead run now in scoring position at second. Count is full to Tyler Grissom. Fans back into the ball game. 3-2 is sent in the air out to straightaway center field. Willow shading his eyes from the sunlight, and he reaches up to make the catch to end the inning. On we go to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 3. HarbourCats trying to walk us off.
Highland Pacific Golf.
Why not? Let's go right here.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen, pinch hitting for the Victoria HarbourCats. From Seattle University, number 54, Kyle Sherrick.
We go to the bottom of inning number 9. HarbourCats trying to walk us off and send us home here on Canada Day. Kyle Sherrick is the pinch hitter here for the HarbourCats. He will hit for the starting left fielder, Matt Turner. There's a foul tip into the glove of Fisher. Ball and a strike to Sherrick, nobody out, as he is leading off this bottom of the 9th. HarbourCats would love to get his speed on the base paths. Even in a short time since he joined the HarbourCats, Sherrick has really showed off the wheels when he gets himself on base. A guy who can steal a bag very effortlessly. 1-2 pitch, fouled back. It's 2-2. Harrison Spawn will be next, and then back to the top of the HarbourCats order for the reigning West Coast League Player of the Week, Parker Bramlett. This is still Christian Scott on the mound, and a fastball at 90 on the radar gun is fouled away over to the left side. It's 2-2 still on Sherrick. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Scott comes home with the pitch. Bounce to second base, gloved there by Grissom, and the throw to first is in time to retire Sherrick, 1 away.
The shortstop number 6 we got out is Harrison Spawn.
Tap forward, here we go. Line drive, here we go.
Second baseman from Angelo State, number 25, Parker Bramlett.
Apologies for the microphone difficulties I was having up here in the booth, but we're back on here on Go Live Broadcast. HarbourCats with the bases empty, 2 away in the top of the order now for Parker Bramlett. Bramlett takes one down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, probably the guy to do it as he bounces one up the middle. This will be flagged down deep at short, but no play for Matt Volsky, and Bramlett reaches with an infield hit. And again, just as I was saying, if the HarbourCats are to get some 2-out magic going with really nothing else doing in this inning, it was always going to be Parker Bramlett to get that momentum going for Victoria. Now it's Jason Willow. Winning run on base for a fastball at 90 on the radar gun. That was Willow was well behind with the swing, and it's 0-1. Willow this afternoon 2 for 3 with a run and a walk. And there is strike 2. Just catches the bottom edge of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. See if Bramlett's going to try to break off of second. Has a fairly small lead at the moment as he's looked back to the bag by Scott. 0-2. Started to go, no swing, they say. At first, Mark Bodwell saying no swing from Willow. So it's now a ball and 2 strikes. Willow trying to keep the line moving for the HarbourCats and bring up Frankie Neiman with a couple of men aboard and the winning run in scoring position. 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and Scott strikes out Willow to end the 9th inning. On to extras we go here on Canada Day. HarbourCats and the Falcons tied at 3-3.
Once again, the HarbourCats are back here at home on Wednesday against Seattle City Baseball. Look forward to seeing as many of you here as possible and some extras as well. Our international series with the Victoria Sport Tourism Commission and Tourism Victoria, Greater Destination Victoria. Destination Greater Victoria, let's get that right. And that game, 6:35 start on Wednesday night here at Wilson Stadium in Royal Athletic Park. Tuesday night, before that, we're up in Duncan. We'll have a game against the Ladysmith Pilots at Evans Field in Duncan up on Salmonos Road. $10 tickets at the gates. Different experience, something you might want to enjoy and take in there.
The town of View Royal was able to purchase land to build a new public safety building using provincial gaming revenue from hosting Elements Casino Victoria. The new building has larger sleeping quarters, so volunteer firefighters can be on call, on site, and respond to emergencies even faster. The building isn't only home to the town's fire department, though. It also has space for public safety staff and a secondary emergency operations center, too. BCLC, we're community-minded, with your community in mind.
Beautiful day at the ballpark here in Victoria. It's Canada Day, and it's a Monday afternoon as well. A lot of festivities going down at the downtown area, the waterfront, and the inner harbor here in Victoria later today, but we're not quite done here in the HarbourCats and Falcons series finale. 1 ball and no strikes, the count, and it's now 2-0. Ryan Watson is on for Victoria. He threw an inning in last night's ball game, but did not throw a lot of pitches. It was a 1-2-3 frame for him with a strikeout. So this is his 9th appearance of the season. He's 3-1 with a 1.83 ERA. There's a good breaking ball. It's now 2-1. Yeah, Watson has been excellent on the season. 23 hits, 6 walks, and 19 strikeouts in 19 2/3 innings of work. Native of Sugar Hill, Georgia, and coming to Victoria from the Georgia State Wildcats, or Georgia State Panthers, excuse me, baseball program. Three and one outside. It's ball 4 to begin the top of the 10th for Kelowna.
Hey, get your ground ball now.
So a leadoff walk issued by Watson, and awaiting some further instruction here from Ryan Wright is the next hitter for Kelowna. and that is Matt Volsky. So is Cole Cummings drawing the walk to lead off the inning. Matt Volsky now will hit. This is the meat of the Falcons order. Bunt put down. Watson is going to go to second, and they got one. Good decision by Watson. It was a tight play, but he did make the right decision to get the leadoff man and delivered a good throw to second base. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Volsky. Now 1 on and 1 out for Kelowna. And the HarbourCats trying to get to the bottom of the 10th inning, still tied at 3-3.
First base number 16, Marcus Warren.
The hitter for the Falcons is Marcus Guerin, the first baseman, with Volsky now at first, and there is a strike on the first pitch from Watson. Another right-hander up and throwing for Victoria. A little bit of movement going on in the Kelowna bullpen, but no one throwing as of yet. So we may see Christian Scott back out there for the bottom of the 10th. Wind has also picked up as the afternoon has gone on. It's blowing fairly hard now from left to right field. This one is grounded through into left field for a base hit. Guerin has a multi-hit day. He stops at first. Up to second goes Volsky. And he's the go-ahead run now in scoring position with 1 out. And the hitter now is James Shimashita.
Hey, still 1 pitch away.
We're going to have a pinch hitter here as Shimashita is lifted here at the last moment. It's Johnny Carr who's going to pinch hit. He got the start in the leadoff spot in the order for Kelowna the past 2 days. So he comes off the bench here to pinch hit in a big spot. First and second, 1 out, top of the 10th. And the pitch from Watson is a fastball at 87, missing below the knees for 1 ball and no strikes. So Ryan Wright for Kelowna going to his bench a little bit here in the late innings and now in extra innings. There was a strike from Watson to even the count to 1-1. Watson's going to step off and look both runners back to their respective bases. Carr at the plate awaiting the 1-1. And this one lined down the right field line. This ball is going to go foul. Almost 2 runs for Kelowna, but it just fell in foul to the right of that right field line. And it's now 1-2, so it's just a long strike for Carr, who's now behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Watson looking for one more good pitch to finish him off. This one is going to be caught at first. The tag not applied by Neiman as he tried to dive out and get a double play. But Neiman with a good athletic play at first to catch that soft liner and take away a hit from Carr. So Brandon Hupe now back to the plate. Homered back in the 7th. And Ian Sanderson is out of the dugout for the HarbourCats, their pitching coach. So I think this will just be a chat with Watson, maybe to go over the scouting report. I'm sure that part of Sanderson's visit is going to be about, remember, Hupe went deep earlier in this game and also yesterday. So perhaps the HarbourCats coaching staff noticed something about those 2 at-bats that Hupe had, about where he likes the ball. I'm trying to, of course, stay away from that location if you're Ryan Watson. So it is Volsky, the go-ahead run at second base, and at first is Marcus Guerin. And the 0-0 pitch to him from Watson is driven in the air out to deep left field. Back on it is Sherrick looking up at the wall. It is off the base of the wall. 1 run will score. Getting the stop sign at third is Guerin, and it's a go-ahead double from Brandon Hupe. The Falcons have the lead 4-3. Well, Hupe just missed a home run on that swing, but it was very similar in terms of the flight of the ball to his last couple home runs, right to that similar spot in left center field. He just missed the home run ball, but he did get an RBI double, and the Falcons are now in front 4-3. So Watson in a dangerous spot still here. HarbourCats down by a run and a pair of runners in scoring position as that is swung on.
Catcher number 19, Jake Fisher.
0-1 as that one he just missed the home run ball off the wall. Time called at home plate before the 0-1 pitch. 0-1 pitch to Fisher, who, remember, he tied the game up in the top of the 9th inning with that solo home run when the HarbourCats thought they just needed a couple more outs to finish off the win. Fisher came up and hit the home run to tie it at 3. There's a big swing and a miss. It's 1-2. So Guerin at third, Hupe at second. 2 men gone here in the top of the 10th. HarbourCats now trail 4-3. And the 1-2 is popped up into foul territory. Frankie Neiman, is he going to have a chance? Yes, he will. He makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. HarbourCats with work to do as we go to the bottom of the 10th, trailing by a run.
Hey, let's find a way now. Let's go. You want this? You guys want that?
We're back for the bottom of the 10th inning, and the HarbourCats, they were 2 outs away from a victory in the top of the 9th, and now they're 3 outs away from an extra innings loss here in the series finale if they don't score at least a run to keep us going here in the bottom of the 10th. Frankie Neiman went around on that swing, thought better of it at the last moment, but it was not in time for him to hold back on that swing. Christian Scott still out there throwing, and he throws hard at the 90 miles per hour. That one is going to be reined in at short, and Neiman lines out. That is out number 1. But just back to Christian Scott, he's been up over 90 on the radar gun. That last fastball was at 89 from him. Tying run on base here in the bottom of the 10th inning. One ball, no strikes, and it misses outside for 2-0 to Paxton. Nick Playa waits on deck for the HarbourCats. Playa is 0 for 2, does have a pair of walks on his day here this afternoon.
Good boy, good. Hey, we take walks, no problem.
Scott trying to get back in the zone here. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Paxton certainly would take a walk. Now the 3-0 pitch is going to miss, and it's ball 4. So the HarbourCats get the tying run aboard, and now Nick Playa comes up to the plate to hit. So now it's the Falcons who are 2 outs away from a victory here on Canada Day, but the HarbourCats not going to go down without a fight, and Nick Playa certainly is a guy who's always going to battle down to the last strike. Here's the 0-0 pitch to Playa. Swings and fouls one away down the right side. No balls and 1 strike to Playa.
Hey, get that barrel ready.
We're in the bottom of the 10th inning. Again, the bulk of this crowd here on Canada Day has stuck around for this close extra innings ball game, hoping to see a 10th inning comeback for the HarbourCats. Playa will take one upstairs for 1 ball and 1 strike, facing Christian Scott. Scott now is through 2 innings of relief. Allowed a hit and a walk with 3 strikeouts. Playa with a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Ball gets away from the catcher Fisher, and now Paxton's in scoring position.
Find a way. Find a way.
So we'll see how big that could potentially be with Paxton now up there at second. Playa at the plate. He is the winning run. The tying run is at second in the form of Paxton. And Nate Pacoda, who doubled in a run in his last at-bat, waits on deck. Scott is ahead of Playa, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Playa with a liner foul, and it remains 1-2.
I'll win this one. Win one.
Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Playa putting up a battle as he always does at the plate. Now it's down low. Good disciplined take from Playa. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Good second day.
Paxton takes his lead off of second. He'll be looking to score on anything to the outfield. 2-2 to Playa. Another one missing for 3-2. Well, I'm sure the Bellingham Bells are tracking this game with a keen viewing interest, hoping that the Falcons can finish this one off with 2 more outs needed here in the bottom of the 10th. But the HarbourCats are thinking about a comeback here in the bottom of the 10th inning. And Playa awaits the payoff pitch. 3-2 from Christian Scott. That'll miss. Good take from Playa. It's another walk. Number 3 he is taken today. And the tying run and winning run now aboard, with Nate Pacoda coming up to the plate. And Pacoda just barely missed a home run in his last at-bat, but he got an RBI double. And now the pitching coach out of the dugout for Kelowna, it's Jared Molna. Thinks this is just going to be a chat with Christian Scott. Not a change for the Falcons as he tries to settle down Scott and get him back in the strike zone to get those final 2 outs for Kelowna. Now again, Kelowna not in the mix for the first half North Division crown, but at the same time would be a feel-good victory for them that could help potentially propel them to further success in the second half. It would be a nice way for them to end the series here on Canada Day, spoil the Canada Day party that the HarbourCats were hoping to throw. And then after this game, Kelowna will go down to Wenatchee to continue their road trip. They'll play game 1 against the Apple Sox tomorrow night at 7:05. So Paxton at second, Playa at first, 1 out in the bottom of the 10th. And Nate Pacoda is the hitter. First pitch to Pacoda in there for a strike. Also Chase Wesner has moved out to the on-deck circle for the HarbourCats. Tying run, Paxton at second base. Winning run, Playa at first. A 1 pitch to Pacoda is a swing and a miss. and it's now 0-2. Pakoto, I think, was thinking fastball, and he started the swing early, but was well out in front of that 75-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch. Infield at double play depth, looking for a ground ball here with one out. This one is hit softly on the ground to short, could be two. There's one at second, no throw to first. Going to third is Paxton. They do get the fielder's choice as Pakoto is now at first base. Playa is out.
Wes, check in.
And it's going to come down to Chase Wesner. The tying run 90 feet away at third. The winning run over there at first in the form of a speedy Nate Pakoto. And Chase Wesner, the pinch hitter, will hit. He was battling recently an ankle injury that he sustained at first base. That was a couple days back. He has made one start in the DH spot since then, but he has had the last 2 days off, and Wesner has been an integral bat in the order for the HarbourCats when he's been healthy before that injury. So he comes up here in a big spot, trying to deliver a base hit to tie the game up, or perhaps walk things off. Wesner takes one upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes at an even 90 on the gun from Christian Scott. Wesner does have a couple of home runs on the season. The 1-0 pitch is a strike, and it's 1-1. Wesner coming into this at bat, hitting .410. Those 2 homers, as mentioned, and 14 RBIs. Wesner lines one out to the gap in right center field. Paxton scores. Here comes Pakoto around third. And Chase Wesner has walked it off on Canada Day. A 2-run double in the bottom of the 10th inning. HarbourCats win it 5-4. Unbelievable. Chase Wesner fresh off the bench. Coming back from the ankle injury. No problem, the ankle looks just fine. He got up to second with that double, the 2-run score, and the HarbourCats win it on Canada Day. They walk off the Kelowna Falcons and sweep this Canada Day weekend series. HarbourCats flood out to center field to celebrate with Wesner. They'll now head back to home plate to shake the Falcons' hands. A disappointing end to the series for them, but it has to be said, a very valiant effort and a lot of fight shown this afternoon by the Falcons trying to avoid that sweep. They will go home. Actually, they will continue on the road out to Wenatchee now. And they'll play 3 Tuesday to Thursday down in Wenatchee, trying to get back in the win column. HarbourCats sweep the Falcons, and Chase Wesner's RBI double that scores 2 in the bottom of the 10th is what wins it for the HarbourCats in extras. Well, what an ending on Canada Day. The HarbourCats come away with the win, and they come away with the sweep. We thank you for tuning in here on Go Live Broadcasts. We'll be back with you for a non-league exhibition game on Wednesday as Seattle comes to town for a visit to Wilson's Group Stadium. But for now, on behalf of Chris Jaycox, our great producer, my name is Mike Edwards. Thanks for tuning in on Canada Day. HarbourCats victorious in 10 innings, 5-4.